The Governor of the State of Illinois has declared a gubernatorial disaster proclamation in response to COVID-19 outbreak, and all of the village of Glendale Heights is covered by the disaster area. In light of the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak, the village president of the village of Glendale Heights has determined that an in-person meeting for the December 9, 2021 Village Board and Committee of the Whole meeting is not practical or prudent in light of the disaster. All of the trustees of the Village Board participating in the December 9, 2021 Village Board meeting, wherever their physical location shall be verified and determined that they can hear all discussion and testimony during the meeting. Signed, Chaudhary M.A. Kukher, Village President of the Village of Glendale Heights, dated December 9, 2021. I would like to call this Village Board meeting of Thursday, December 9, 2021 to order. Will the clerk please take the roll?
Mayor Coker,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt,
Here.
Trustee Siddiqui,
Here.
Trustee Light,
Here.
Trustee Meritato,
Here.
Trustee Pojek,
Here.
Trustee Schroeder.
Here.
Okay, this year, 2021, this is the last meeting we will have, or we are going to have in 2021 is the last meeting. We will not have any other meeting this year. So I want to say Happy New Year to everybody, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody. Now please stand and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will continue with petitions and communication. Community announcement. Trustee Schmidt, please.
Thank you.
You are.
The Village of Glendale Heights is looking for hardworking individuals to join our team. We are now offering a variety of career opportunities for part-time and seasonal positions. The Parks, Recreation, and Facilities Department is now hiring for a variety of recreation positions, including program facility coordinators, seasonal recreation attendants, and seasonal youth counselors. The Glendale Lakes Golf Club is hiring cooks, bartenders, waitstaff, and a banquet coordinator. For more information on these job opportunities or for additional career postings, please visit www.glendaleheights.org/HR or contact Human Resources at 630-909-5357. The next coffee and chat with the village president and board will be Saturday, January 8th in the Glendale Heights Police Department's EOC from 10 a.m. to noon. Please note the new location. If you are unable to attend and have any comments, suggestions, or questions for the village president or village board, please call the village president's office anytime at 630-909-5302. Thank you.
Welcome. Trustee Siddiqui.
The Village of Glendale Heights through Algens Recycling is collecting broken or unused holiday lights. Lights can be dropped off at Public Works Garage located at 1635 Glen Allen Road on weekdays from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Lights accepted for recycling include all colors and lengths of mini lights, C7 lights, C9 lights, rope lights, and LED lights. For more information on holiday lights recycling, please call 630-260-6000.
Trustee Light.
Thank you.
You are.
Breakfast with Santa is returning to Glendale Lakes Golf Club on Saturday, December 18th from 9 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Breakfast includes all-you-can-eat pancakes with sausage and a beverage. The price of an adult breakfast is $5, and the children's breakfast is $3. Photos with Mr. and Mrs. Claus are $2. No registration required, and the event fee is paid at the door. Don't miss your chance to tell Santa what's on your mind for Christmas and tell him your Christmas wish list. For more information, please contact the Sports Hub at 630-260-6060. Republic Service will pick up Christmas trees from curbside during regular waste and recycling schedules through the first 2 full weeks of January. All trees must be free of tinsel, lights, and ornaments, and no longer than 5 feet. For more information, please contact Republic Service at 847-981-0091. Thank you.
You're welcome. Clerk Schmidt, please.
The Community Development Department reminds businesses that the deadline for renewing their annual village business license is Thursday, December 30th. Please carefully complete and return the license renewal form with payment to the Village of Glendale Heights Attention Business Licenses. If you have not yet received your business license renewal form, or for any additional information, please contact the Community Development Department at 630-260-6030. Thank you.
Trustee Maritato.
Thank you. As a reminder to residents, please do not shovel, snow blow, or plow any snow onto village streets. This will ensure our streets are clean and clear of any snow for safe driving. If you have any questions, please call the police department non-emergency number at 630-260-6070. The police department would like to remind residents of the parking regulations within the village during the snowfall. There is no parking allowed on village streets designated as a snow route for 24 hours after a snowfall of 1 inch or more. There is no parking allowed on any village street for 24 hours after a snowfall of 2 inches or more. And there is no parking allowed on any village street for 72 hours after a snowfall of 5 or more inches. If you have any questions regarding winter parking restrictions, please contact the Glendale Heights Police Department, non-emergency number 630-260-6070. Thank you.
Welcome. Trustee Pojek.
Thank you. Due to Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day falling on a Friday and Saturday, there will be no delay in garbage and recycling pickup during the holiday weeks. Please remember, most wrapping paper is not recyclable and can be replaced with your regular garbage collection. If you have any questions, please contact Republic Services at 847-981-0091. Thank you.
You're welcome. Trustee Schroeder, please.
Thank you, Mayor. In cooperation with the Center for Senior Citizens, the DuPage Senior Citizens Council is now offering a senior citizens handyman program for residents of DuPage County. The cost is $40 an hour for a handyman to come into your home for most small repairs. Senior citizens must be 60 years of age or better. To contact the Director of Home Maintenance, please call the DuPage Senior Citizen Council at 630-620-0804 or Ralph King at 630-546-0627. Thank you.
We are going to watch the 2021 year in review presentation.
Yeah, we got a good thing, babe. Whenever life is hard, We'll never lose our way, 'cause we both know who we are. Who knows about tomorrow? We don't know what's in the stars. I just know I'll always follow the light in your heart. I'm not worried about us, and I've never been. We know how the story ends. We will never break. We will never break. Build on a foundation strong enough to stay. We will never break. As the water rises and the mountains shake, our love will remain. We will never, no, no, never. We will never, no, no, never. It's more than a good sensation. It's more than a passing fling. You are the explanation of what love really means. It's bigger than you and me. It's 1 + 1 = 3. When we talk about forever, then forever's what we mean. So I'm not worried about us, and I've never been. No matter what may come our way, we will never break. We will never break. Build on a foundation stronger than the pain. We will never break. As the water rises and the mountains shake, our love will remain. We will never, no, no, never. Never, no, no, never. We will never, no, never. We will never, no. The world is dangerous. Throw it all at us. There's nothing we cannot take. We will never break. We will never break. Build on a foundation strong enough to stay. We will never break. As the water rises and the mountains shake, our love will remain. We will never, no, no, never. We will never, no, no, never. We will never, no, never. We will never, no. We will never, no, never. We will, no.
Hold me like the river Jordan, and I will then say to thee, you are my friend. Carry me like you are my brother. Love me like a mother. Will you be there? Tell me, will you hold me? When wrong, will you scold me? When lost, will you find me? But they told me a man should be faithful and walk when not able, and fight till the end, but I'm only human.
are the days I will remember. These are the faces I need most. Everything changes, but I'll keep forever. These days I will remember. These days I will remember. Still got that trophy that says second place. Still got that breakup letter from my old flame. And I know it's been too long to recall it right, but you don't forget the goodbyes, and you don't forget the good times. Still got that scar from my one and only fight. Still remember when your father left and we drove all night. And I know it's been too long to recall it right, but you don't forget the goodbyes, and you don't forget the good times. No, you don't forget the goodbyes, and you don't forget the good times. These are the days I will remember. These are the faces I need most. Everything changes, but I'll keep forever. These days I will remember. These days I will remember. Still got that blanket from when you were born. That night love hit me like a heavy storm. And I know it's been too long to recall it right, but you don't forget the goodbyes, and you don't forget the good times. No, you don't forget the goodbyes, and you don't forget the good times. These are the days I will remember. These are the days.
I saw a photograph from 10 years back. It's you and I were standing in the rain, somewhere outside Atlanta, and I think my 12-seat van is right there out of frame. This was before I knew my way around Los Angeles, before I ever cared about nice neighborhoods. We were driving through the night, sleeping on hotel floors, and thinking that we had it good. We were kids back then, thinking we would live forever. We were kids back then. We were wild and free, taking on the world together. We were kids back then. That's how we're always gonna be. Friend on my timeline who had lately been on my mind. We were close as blood. And if we sat down for a drink, I think we'd forget all the stupid reasons we lost touch. It was just because we were kids back then, thinking we would live forever. We were kids back then, you and me. We were wild and free, taking on the world together. We were kids back then. That's how we're always gonna be. All you got to do is blink your eyes and the years go by like that. They fly right past. I don't want to wait to realize everything that you and I already have. 5:30 in the morning and we're awake again. You are holding baby Jane. I lean in to take a picture when it hits me. In 20 years I will look back and say, we were kids back then, thinking we would live forever. We were kids back then.
Nobody knows how to say goodbye. seems so easy till you try. Then the moments passed you by. Nobody knows how to say goodbye.
I don't know why you think that you could help me when you couldn't get by yourself. And I don't know who would ever wanna tell the seam of someone's dream. Baby, it's fine. You said that we should just be friends while I came up with that line. And I'm sure that it's for the best. If you ever change your mind, don't hold your breath. Look, you may not believe that, baby, I'm relieved when you said goodbye. My whole world shined. Hey, 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 it's a beautiful day and I can't stop myself from smiling. If I'm drinking, then I'm buying, and I know there's no denying. It's a beautiful day, the sun is up, the music's playing, and even if it started raining, you won't hear this boy complaining, 'cause I'm glad that you're the one who got away.
Sunset through a windshield, I can see it now, like a picture in a frame. Blue jeans and t-shirts, who we wore it like a name. I wish I could go back to those days when the town was the whole world and love was the girl next door. A soundtrack with a song in the dark. I miss those days when our dreams were there for chasing. The time was better wasted. We were summer young and living for Friday, and freedom was a highway. Freedom was a highway.
Barbed wire on a fence post with a crosswind on a road no one was on.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
5 deep with our hands up, just singing along to a hip-hop song. I wish I could rewind and replay
When the town was the whole world and love was the girl next door. Soundtrack with a song in the dark. I miss those days when our dreams were there for chasing. The time was better wasted. We were summer young and living for Friday, and freedom was a highway. Freedom was a highway. When you're 17 and driving, you don't think about the road running out. No, no, no.
Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy done forgot the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate. We can decide our fate and look for the good in everyone and celebrate all our mistakes if there's a silver lining. You still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your
Oh, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We've been waiting all year for this night. And the snow is glistening on the trees outside, and all the stockings are hung by the fireside, waiting for Santa to arrive. Oh, and all the love will show, 'cause everybody knows it's Christmas time, and all the kids will see the gifts under the tree. It's the best time of year for the family. It's a wonderful feeling, feel the love in the room from the floor to the ceiling. It's that time of year, Christmas time is here, and with the blessings from above, God sends you His love, and everything's okay. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Oh yeah. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. Bells are ringing, it's time to scream and shout. Scream and shout. And everybody's playing 'cause school's out, celebrating those special times we shared. Happiness 'cause love is in the air, and all the love will show, 'cause everybody knows it's Christmas time, and all the kids will see the gifts under the tree. It's the best time of year for the family. It's a wonderful feeling, feel the love in the room from the floor to the ceiling. It's that time of year, Christmas time is here, and with the blessings from above, God sends you His love, and everything's okay. Merry Christmas, happy holidays.
We now go on to public discussion of agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda item? No? Okay.
Good evening, Mr.
Welcome.
Coker. Christopher Epstein, Club Drive, Glendale Heights. All right, first of all, I want to wish all of the Glendale Heights community a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, or whatever you celebrate. Hopefully it's a safe one, and that everybody will be here through the year. Some of the items that are coming up on the agenda are budget items. I just want to make note, I've been reviewing the budget for the number of the last years, and between 2018 and 2019, according to the State of Illinois' Better Government Association, the payroll for the village was at $8 million. However, between those 2 years, we lost 80 employees. So there was a significant drop of employees. However, there wasn't a significant decrease in budgets. Now, I can understand there's certain contractual agreements and payments and stuff like that, but I thought there should have been some type of savings with that. I understand your team now is doing a very good review of our current budget situation, and hopefully we can maintain our expenses at or below, or get some better contracts and get the quality of services that we deserve. Another thing that is within the, I won't bring up the other issues within the budget and stuff that's being discussed and being worked on, I understand. Another thing, our governor has mandated that masks be worn indoors at all times, no matter what your vaccination status. Myself and my family are fully vaccinated. I can understand, like I am right now, up here talking to everybody, that, in order to hear me better, masks should come down. But I believe everybody, I know many of the trustees walked in with the mask, but I don't know where they disappeared to once they got set up there. I'm not wearing a mask for my protection so much as for everybody else's protection, because I am fully protected with the booster. But there's children around that don't have or can't get the inoculation yet or anything like that. So I wish that this board would enforce the mask mandates that has been put out by the governor of the state of Illinois, and it's stated on your door when you walk into this building. The last thing I want to bring up is the signage welcoming people to our village. This is the first year in a long time that I have not seen a politician's name listed on those welcoming boards. I appreciate that. That shows that you guys are inclusive. You're not being disrespectful. You are there to, welcome the people as it is. And now we are becoming a proud and progressive village by doing that, not having, and even the Christmas sign, or the holiday sign outside, it doesn't have your name on it, Mayor Coker, and I appreciate that. You are letting the village welcome everybody, not specific individuals, and I thank you very much for that. Have a good day. Everybody have a safe, happy New Year and everything else. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Have a
Epstein.
Merry Christmas, Chris.
Ed Pope, Wayne Avenue. I just have a housekeeping question, and I'm really not sure if it's, I'm going to guess maybe Marie, but I went back through the board docs and this nepotism ordinance that you have, or resolution that you have on here. There's no, anywhere previously, I can't find any discussion about it. Did it, for going through committee to be discussed, it's just on here as new business, but there's no previous discussion of it.
I did not have any part in that, but in looking at it, I believe that it was administrative procedure, and they just added something to it. The whole document is not new.
So it's not a whole new resolution?
No.
It's an amendment?
Doug, it's not a whole new resolution, we just,
No, it's a new administrative policy.
okay, then,
But then why is there no previous discussion at committee level?
Could I make a comment on that? I'm
course.
going to remove that from the item number 6. I'm going to remove it. It should have been put on the committee of the whole. Am I correct, Mr. Storino? It should have been put on the committee of the whole, so the trustees can review it, and that'll be on next year's committee of the whole.
That's something that the board has to decide. It's not up to me or any one member, it's up to the board as a whole. If you wish to deal with it tonight, you can do that. If you wish not to deal with it tonight, as you're indicating you're gonna ask to have it removed, you can do that too.
It's gonna be removed, because I'm gonna request it to be removed. We had none of us trustees had a chance to review it at all, period. By law, it should go to committee of the whole first, and then we can move it forward.
Well, that's why I did a little back digging, just
Thank
because
you.
I thought I missed it and I couldn't find it. I do
Thank
have
you.
one more comment when you're doing your review on it, whether it's tonight or further. It's a step in the right direction, more or less. I do agree with, we've talked about for years about nepotism and arm twisting and all that good stuff. But the one thing you don't address in there is anything about cronyism, which, so you're saying that nepotism is a bad thing, yet the people that have the most influence over the actual policy is not addressed in there at all. So
That's gonna be discussed too.
that's something I would hope you guys would also look at. And then I just have one other question. I talked to Nicole, sorry.
Excuse me, I was under the impression that, Doug, you were doing a presentation on that tonight?
There's one prepared.
Okay.
Which can, if the board decides to remove it, it can be done in first board meeting in January. Or if you're gonna move the committee of the whole, it can be done in committee of the whole.
Well, as long as you got a presentation, why not? Let's listen to the presentation.
That's up to you guys. My point was just that I just didn't know why I couldn't find it in previous committee of the wholes for a topic of discussion. There was nothing.
Let Mr. Flint give a presentation, then board can decide, what they want.
All right, then I just have one other question. I had talked to Nicole the other day. I have a neighbor that is, desperately looking for a job, and I told her about, and Trustee Schmidt had talked about the jobs that were available, and there was 3 full-time jobs at the last posting, and when I had her turn in her application, all the full-time jobs were gone, and so all that's left is part-time jobs. How come they're gone, or why can't she apply for it? Because she's kind of upset, and I kind of look like I got a little black eye for it.
Neighbor can always submit an application for the positions that we have available on our village website. When we spoke, the time frame for that posting to be up, the 10 business days had already lapsed.
When we talked on Tuesday.
Yes, so the posting did come down after the time frame that we needed it to be up, expired.
Okay, but she could still turn her application in?
She can submit an application for our open positions, and she can also, if she wanted to, submit an application and ask that we submit her application for all open positions that we have available.
But there's no current full-time. She needs a
No.
full-time. It's a single mom with 2 kids.
So whatever's up there is what we have available currently.
Okay, I just wondered, because we just talked, it's only been 2 days, and all of a sudden she called me and said they're not there.
The time lapsed.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay,
Have a
anybody,
nice Christmas, Ed.
anybody else? No, so we will move. We will continue with the consent agenda.
Mayor, I'd like to remove number 21 and 22.
Okay. Twenty-one and 22.
Where you wanna put them?
Old business.
Old business.
Old business?
Yes.
Mayor, before we start the consent, there's a person on Zoom that would like to speak under public discussion.
Yeah. You're right.
No,
Somebody wants to speak that's on
Zoom.
Okay,
Oh, okay, there's somebody, okay, go ahead.
on Zoom.
Okay, Zoom.
Cole has to do that.
Yeah, hi, my name is Adil Salam, 1174 Harbor Court, Glendale Heights is the address. I missed some parts, so we are taking this nepotism ordinance out of the agenda, is that correct?
That hasn't been determined yet. That hasn't been decided yet.
Okay, so if you're discussing nepotism and colonialism, can we also discuss the process of any hiring for any positions in the village, past and future and present?
Mr. Flint, you can answer, or. Ms.
Hiring in
Nicole.
regards to what specifically?
Any individual who's getting hired for the position in the village?
Ms. Nicole?
So any open positions that we have are open to anyone to apply. And then we go through a review process of applications. We have a panel that conducts all the interviews, and the most appropriate candidate for the position is hired.
Okay.
Did I answer your question? I'm really not.
No, you answered my question, but I just wanted to make sure that, the process has been followed in the recent hirings which have been made.
Yes.
Wonderful, that answers my question.
Okay.
Okay, excuse me, Doug, what was the question?
I think it was just a general question on how we conduct hiring practices.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the consent agenda before you. Would village administrator, Mr. Flint, please read the consent agenda?
Thank you. Consent agenda. Number one, approval of special village board meeting minutes of November 15th, 2021. Number two, approval of the regular board meeting minutes of the November 18th, 2021. Number three, approval of the committee of the whole meeting minutes of November 15th, 2021. Number four, approval of the special village board meeting of November 22nd, 2021. Number five, approval of the accounts payable listing December 9th, 2021, in the amount of $16,063.70. An ordinance providing the levy, assessment, and collection of taxes in the fiscal year beginning May 1st, ending April 30th, 2022, for the Village of Glendale Heights, DuPage County, Illinois. Ordinance 2021-80. Number seven, an ordinance for the levy and tax assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, ending April 30th, 2022, in and for the Village of Glendale Heights Special Service Area Number 1, Glendale Lakes Business Park, Ordinance 2021-81. Number eight, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1, 2021, ending April 30th, 2022, in and for the Village of Glendale Heights Special Service Area Number 2, Glendale Industrial Park, Ordinance 2021-82. Number nine, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, ending April 30th, 2022, in and for the Village of Glendale Heights Special Service Area Number 3, High Grove East Industrial Park, Ordinance 2021-83. Number 10, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, and ending April 30th, 2022, in and for the Village of Glendale Heights Special Service Area Number 4, High Grove West Industrial Park, Ordinance 2021-84. Number 11, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, ending April 30th, 2022, in and for the Village of Glendale Heights Special Service Area Number 5, Glen Point Business Park, Ordinance 2021-85. Number 12, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, ending April 30th, 2022, in and for the Village of Glendale Heights Special Service Area Number 6, Polo Club Heights Industrial Park, Ordinance 2021-86. Number 13, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, ending April 30th, 2022, in and for the Village of Glendale Heights Special Service Area Number 7, Saco Industrial Park, Ordinance 2021-87. Number 14, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2021, ending April 30th, 2022, in and for the Village of Glendale Heights Special Service Area Number 8, Glendale Heights Business Park, Ordinance 2021-88. Number 15, an ordinance for the Village of Glendale Heights, DuPage County, Illinois, partial abatement of the 2021 tax levy for $24,210,000, General Obligation Bond Series 2019, Ordinance 2021-89. A resolution to authorize the execution of an agreement for professional engineering services for the Mill Pond Lift Station Improvements Project, Resolution 2021-R-123. 17, a resolution of the Village of Glendale Heights, Illinois, adopting second quarter fiscal year 2021-2022 budget amendments, Resolution 2021-R-124. Number 18, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of the Fourth Amendment to the Banking Services Contract between Fifth Third Bank, N.A. and the Village of Glendale Heights, Resolution 2021-R-125. Number 19, a resolution to approve and authorize the execution of a renewal agreement for janitorial services by and between Echo Clean Maintenance Incorporated and the Village of Glendale Heights, Resolution 2021-R-126. Number 20, a resolution authorizing sale of surplus personal property of the Village of Glendale Heights, 2006 Ford F-350 cab and chassis with plow, Resolution 2021-R-127. Number 21 has been removed. Number 22 has been removed. Number 23, a motion to authorize the finance director to process accounts payable and pay requests as may be needed, including contract pay requests to be ratified on January 6, 2022. Number 24 is approval of consent items.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Yeah, Mr. Pat, trustee
moved.
Pat.
Second.
Second, trustee Light.
Excuse me, can you change it to as amended or with the changes?
Just to show, I think, Marie, excluding 21 and 22,
Okay,
with the exception of 21 and 22.
we do not need the motion modified?
No, no, I do
Okay.
not believe you do.
Okay.
Roll call vote.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Siddiqui,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
The consent agenda is approved. Old business. Presentation on this will be made by Mr. Doug Flint.
So under old business, you have before you, a agreement that was finalized today by the committee and transferred to Mr. Bari later this afternoon, or earlier this afternoon. So we've not had an opportunity yet to discuss this contract with Mr. Bari. What we're presenting you tonight is the agreement that we've developed through the committee with our attorneys who generally wrote it. This is a kind of overview of what that contract says. Parts of the whole contract is on board docs for you to review, if you so choose. So the village owns 3 cricket fields at Camera Park. Everybody knows that. The terms of this agreement will be from January 1st, 2022 through December 31st, 2022. It's a 1-year agreement. In this agreement, American Cricket Club shall adhere to the village's field use guidelines, accept current grading of the cricket field. If improvements are needed, American Cricket Club is responsible for cricket field improvements with village prior approval, including, if we deem necessary, scoreboards, cricket pitch improvements, any other improvements. American Cricket Club will ensure trained cricket umpires are present. Officiating procedures and policies need to be in American Cricket Club bylaws. Certified umpires, if there is such a thing for cricket, need to be at the fields. American Cricket Club will ensure trained cricket umpires are present. American Cricket Club will provide the necessary personnel for on-site events, for field prep, ticket sales if needed, security if needed, concessions, field cleanup, and anything goes along with field maintenance. American Cricket Club will clear all fields in the event of Thorgard, our lightning detector at the park. American Cricket Club will provide the village with annual schedules and monthly updated schedules on the last day of the month, 2 months prior to usage, meaning end of May is required for July schedules. So whatever July 1st schedule is, we need that by the end of May so that the village has the opportunity on the open field dates to reach out to other areas and schedule. Subleasing is not part of this contract. Any subleasing will go through the village. American Cricket Club will provide the village with a list of American Cricket Club board members, player rosters. American Cricket Club will provide the village with the team captains list and provide the village with its plan for the implementation of a youth league, a women's league, and a senior league. They'll also provide us a plan for advertising and any other things that are needed to run the organization. American Cricket Club will not utilize Camera Park cricket fields. Blockout dates, July 11th through the 21st. That's for our annual Summerfest. May 18th, May 29th, September 3rd, September 4th. Those are Labor Day and Memorial Day weekends. American Cricket Club shall procure and maintain insurance for the duration of this agreement as outlined. Commercial general liability, $1 million, automobile liability, workers' comp, employer's liability, umbrella liability. This is standard language in every contract the village puts out with an agreement with anybody. Any vendor that we have, this is the contract language that is in there for insurance. American Cricket Club shall indemnify and hold harmless the village, village officials, village employees, village volunteers. Again, pretty standard language in a contract. Responsible for reporting incidents of vandalism, illegal activity at the cricket club to the village. Responsible for reimbursing the village for repairs incurred by use of the cricket fields. And the village maximum liability would be $1,000. Annual usage fee is $37,000. Annual site maintenance fee is $7,000. Total of $44,000 in overall cost. If American Cricket Club is sponsoring cricket teams, which are comprised of a majority of players who are Glendale Heights residents, American Cricket Club shall give a reduced fee to those teams that have, I would say, 51% of the team with Glendale Heights residents should have a discount. Provide American Cricket Club, the village will provide American Cricket Club marketing space and program guides, provide refuse cans, provide porta potties, perform all necessary maintenance April through October, and reserve cricket fields for their schedule. So that's kind of the agreement. I think the whole contract isn't in there. This is the kind of highlights of the contract. This is not up for a vote tonight. This is up for the board to see what the committee has recommended, and kind of I'm looking for guidance after that.
Thank you, Mr. Flint. Oh, question?
Trustee Maritano?
Doug, is that in the contract, no bleachers, no seating?
There's nothing in the contract that I'm aware of about seating or bleachers.
All right, because for sure, the residents will go crazy if there's bleachers and people sitting in stands. That is definitely got to
Okay.
be put in the contract.
We'll make note of that. It's not in the contract, so. Mayor, would you like me to call on people, or do you want to call on people, Mayor?
Mr. Schmidt, you have a question?
Okay, I see here that the cost has jumped from $27,000 to $37,000. 27 was the number that we had mentioned when we had discussed this before. Why is this such an increase of $10,000?
I'll just answer this the way it's come about. The person who's asked for or said they would pay $27,000 has made offers higher than the 27 and has actually increased it to 44.
And it was questioned by Mr. Pat and Mr. Schmidt, that village will get profit from business, cricket business, That's the reason. Mr. Mehta, he increased, his offer. Yes, Trustee Siddiqui.
My question is actually to the Keith. Keith, I just want to compare what we are making from our other fields, like from baseball. Can you give me I don't want exact number. I think we have baseball, 4 fields in a yearly, what we are getting from there.
So, this is,
Yeah, just a ballpark number. I'm not looking for an exact.
the 4 fields, we've had some outside rentals in our program. I would say that from a rental standpoint, around $10,000.
With 4 fields. We have, correct, baseball, we have 4 fields.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a regular
Yeah,
renter.
so, and for spending wise, from the city's perspective, because I've been hearing 220,000 on Camera Park, what did we spend on Raskin Park update?
When we redeveloped Reskin Park, the number I have is about $2.4 million.
So 2.4 million. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to prove here is we are not giving any extra favor to just Camera Park. This is our policy that we develop parks for the public. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we also have a current project going on at Camera Park
Yeah.
that's $2.3 million.
Yeah, because it's not that we, because I've been hearing this a lot. And my other question is this: when are we gonna done with this cricket dam thing? Because people have a lot of other issues which needs to be addressed. Beside this circus of cricket, which has been putting again and again and again, and what are we trying to, because there was a clear direction from the board that, is the agreement has been reached, Mr. Flint?
No.
With ACC?
No.
And what is the reason for that?
There's been there's a delay in the contract being written and approved and then sent to Mr. Bari.
And when you said that it was sent today at 2:30?
About 1:30 today.
1:30. So let's say Mr. Bari, who is also working, probably gonna see at 5, and we expect it to be done by this board meeting. So here is I have no words how to describe this. We all know that mayor, when he took the office, and Mr. Maron already mentioned this, he wanted to terminate this contract. This is a known fact. And then now I'm seeing, although the board gave a clear direction and gave the opportunity that you can go and discuss a new contract with ACC, but intentionally it get delayed, and here we are again discussing this. We already discussed this cricket thing. People are here, people have been emailing me, calling me for their taxes, levy which has been raised. People want to discuss about their real issues. And here we are discussing this again and again and again because mayor has a personal vendetta against ACC. He just want to terminate. He just want to bring this again and again. And I also want to remind that we are a municipality. We are not running a business here or profit-making business. We always think about our people. If ACC has 150, 200 people, residents playing in those grounds, it means a lot for city. That's all I have.
I would answer to Mr. Siddiqui that this cricket grounds belong to resident of Glendale Heights, village of Glendale Heights. And Mr. Bari was getting whatever you can say, sweetheart deal from the ex-mayor because this board was not aware of how he was re-letting or releasing and putting profit in his pocket at the cost of village of Glendale Heights. Now I took this charge, and I am very open, very transparent, and very honest way I want to brought it on the table. And now my dear trustees, board of trustees, they are aware of what was happening for last 20 years, and now is not going to happen. No one person or one group is going to put profit from village to his or her pocket, So now is open to other candidates, and village trustee, they are running business of Glendale Heights. The only thing is now they have knowledge that other party, Midwest, is a resident of the Glendale Heights. He owns, Mr. Iqbal Khan, owns 60% share of partnership of Midwest. And they are ready to pay more for the services they are getting as compared to Mr. Bari. So it's up to board. They want to go work for the benefit of the resident of Glendale Heights or for the benefit of one family who has Mr. Bari and who has his brother-in-law sitting on the board and working for the interest of his relatives. People of Glendale Heights resident, they have right to know, how this business is going on for last 20 years, and now how it's open to the public. Thank you. And yes, Mr. Light.
Chester was waiting.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mr. Coker, I resent you mentioning Mr. Berry putting money in his pocket. I resent that statement, number one. Number two, we had a contract for $29,000. Cash, you got the checks, you got the contract. Now you want $37,000 from this man.
44,
Why?
44.
44,000. Why did it go up? You already had a $29,000 contract. You were ready to sign the contract.
Trustee Pojek, I wrote.
Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
You were ready to sign the contract. We didn't even, us trustees had no news, nothing new about it, period. Till this was brought up in hearsay. All of a sudden, there's a $29,000 contract with a check deposited to the village already. Why?
Done?
Yeah, I'm done now.
Okay, at that time, on November 17, contract was signed by me and Mr. Mehta. There was also offer from other. He was the highest.
Where is the
and you-
contract?
Why weren't we notified?
Let me talk, Let me explain. And I talked with Mr. Flint, I talked with Mr. Keith, and I was going to talk, but you guys, trustee, you canceled that contract.
We didn't know nothing about it.
Because you never knew for last 20 years what contract was written and who was getting for what money it was given that contract. That is history of Glendale Heights for last 20 years.
That's your
20
opinion.
plus
That's your
years. It's
opinion.
not my opinion.
It's your
You
opinion.
did not know Mr. Pat, trustee, he did not know. Mary Schroeder, she talked with me. She said, Mayor, I don't know, Mary, did you talk with me or not?
Yes.
Mr. Pat, did you talk with me or not? You said, I did not know. Nobody has knowledge. So now I am people mayor. I am president of Glendale Heights. Whatever I will do in the best interest of village of Glendale Heights and resident of Glendale Heights. I have no animosity against anybody. The only thing I want the best higher bid, number one, the best package for my resident. Yes, Mr. Siddiqui, yes. Who the first? Sorry. Who was the first?
Yeah.
You?
You can go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
First question I have is, if I'm not mistaken, the Monday night meeting, when we had our budget meeting, we decided at that point we were going to do an RFP, and that was going to be on the Thursday, we were going to vote for that. When Wednesday came up this contract, all of a sudden that was done without our knowledge on it, which kind of blew up the whole RFP thing. It threw it right out the window because that was what we had decided at the meeting, then all of a sudden it was not part of it anymore. So now all of a sudden we have that thrown into the game. Then the contract, which nobody saw, was also a $29,000, which was $27,000 for the field, $2,000 for maintenance. That, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't that agreed upon for a 2-year contract at that time that you guys had put together?
No, that was 1 year.
Because I never saw the contract.
Okay.
I was
I
just,
have copy, I can provide copy of to each member of the board, number one. Number two, let me explain.
Okay.
After contract was cancelled by board member, our trustees, then it was open again. That guy, Mr. Mehta, he came and he said that trustee wanted profit from out of this business. So he said he would give $10,000 more.
well,
So
we
it
didn't
jumped.
we didn't have an we didn't put out another RFP. So that was
The thing is,
canceled,
I mean,
right?
if you want, board can put.
No, it was
RFP
already
again.
canceled, but yet we still have more numbers coming in. I'm a little bit concerned about this 44,000, especially after I received this email, for which I'm gonna read. Board of Trustees, it gives me utmost pleasure to offer you $39,000 for the usage of 3 cricket fields in Cameron Park for the year 2022, April 2022 to November 2022. In addition, the above, Midwest Cricket Club can pay an additional $10,000 for the night tournaments that would be held on the third ground with the lights, thus making total for $49,000 for the Village of Glendale Heights. The present ownership breakdown of Midwest Cricket Club LLC is as follows: 60%, oh, forgive me, but Mr. Khan, I won't even try and pronounce his first name, I'm sorry, 31-year resident, 31-year-old resident of Glendale Heights, and 40% is Mr. Maida. The argument was brought up that various meetings that Midwest is an outsider. This is not true. Mr. Khan is a longstanding resident of Glendale Heights, outstanding community member, and wants to do right by the village and is thinking how to strengthen the community and not take advantage of it. Another huge misunderstanding is that the trustees is AAC is invested in the grounds. That is not true. Most of the investment comes from the village, and the ACC reaped the rewards for all those years. That is quite evident from Mr. Flint's presentation. Disturbing fact is the village spends $220,000 in 2018 and didn't think about increasing the rent a dime or have any care how they would recover the village's money at this time goes on. In short, no economic consideration was given to the village by ACC. To sum it up, the current arrangement of the rental agreement of the cricket field is poor management of the village board, and it's reduced the village funds by $220,000 plus construction costs. What is further perplexing is the current cricket contract for which the village has invested such exorbitant amount of funds should go out on a bid to maximize the return of the investment. I did have a meeting with the state's attorney, Bob Berlin, and he agreed that a formal process of bidding should be put into effect that would be proper way to do it, of doing it. Just like there are 13 bids were taken for putting the lights on the grounds, given the grounds for the ACC just because the tenure had a huge cost to the village residents is not correct or ethical. Even going over the terms of the contract without proper bidding process reflects the Board of Trustees' unfair and biased approach to the village expenses. I personally have nothing to gain from this, but I will make it known to 34,700 residents how the board voted against the village's interest. Sincerely, Mr. Sandeep Maida. I take that last line as a direct threat, and I find it very disturbing that a person would come up with so much money and then make a threat like this. I'm not hiding anything. I've never hidden anything. We have never hid anything. So for this person to do this, personally, honestly, truthfully, I think he should be precluded from any association on bidding or involvement with the cricket, and that's final. I mean, it's a horrible way to do this. I don't appreciate threats. And this whole thing with the state's attorney, did we in fact tell the state's attorney that we had an RFP and that was this told to him that we had an RFP that was dismantled once you guys entered into an agreement without the board? I'm confused by all this. I mean, it's definitely, it makes me nervous about the direction that this person is going to try and take the village, and I don't care for it at all. That's all I got. Thank you.
Trustee Light, RFP was not considered by board, including yourself.
Okay.
If you want, you can reconsider again. I will love it, you know. Anything I want is for the village and for the resident of Glendale Heights. It's not one person. I'm not in favor of one person or one group. That is period. I mean, you are trustee, you are running
Right.
business, keep your business running. You have my backing.
Right. We are past that point. I mean, we are now in negotiations with Mr. Bari over the cricket grounds. We're past the RFP point. We've long moved past.
Mr. Bari has been subletting and getting a lot of money cash.
But
there
this-
is proof, and that is coming up, you know.
Right, well, that's fine and dandy.
If he can deny on the board, He can deny it.
But that's not
There
what
is
we're-
proof coming, you know.
That's not what we're questioning here. We're simply looking at the fact that we're past that point, we're moving on. We need to move on, and now we're at a contract point. This needs to end, because we have spent way too many resources, man-hours, and lawyer fees in order to handle this. And I'm sorry, but I'm in agreement with the 29,000 to get this over with, and next year, maybe we put it out for an RFP next year.
Maybe, maybe not.
Let's-
You are boss, you know.
No.
6 people are boss.
No, I am
Yes, we
simply,
are.
I am simply saying, you know what, I think it's a great idea that we do move on and get stuff accomplished here. It's just the way that it needs to happen right now. We need to move on past this. We've spent a lot of time on this. And this,
Mr. Schmidt wants to talk to you
no,
about.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
Let me answer him first, you know, then I will come to, you know.
Okay,
Mr. Light,
yes.
one group, one family is making profit out of this. You are ignoring, you know. You are not helping resident, you are helping one family, number one. Number two, there is a golf course. We are putting $300,000 to $500,000 every year. To me, it's waste of money of my resident, you know. I cannot tolerate this, you know. I want to fix these things, you know. And next is, you know, employees, you know. Our employees, there is some problem, you know, and I want to fix that, you know. Our residents are paying a lot of money whenever I meet with my people, they say, Mayor Coker or President Coker, you know, we are paying a lot of fees, we are paying a lot of taxes, do something. And this is my promise to the Glendale Heights Village and my resident, I will do my best, you know. And this is the first step, you know, I'm cutting all those expenses. I want to take care of, you know, cricket ground, you know, you can give to anybody, you can give him free, you know, I don't object, but this is on the record. When you will meet with your people, they will ask you question, you know, why you are giving, you know, to money to that person who is making profit, putting into his pocket.
At this
And
time,
as Mary Schroeder mentioned last time, Bari is our family member, is on the record. Bari is on the family member. He used to help us in our election. He used to help every member, every trustee in election. So I don't know, Mr. Bari, how he was helping trustees, you know, and why trustees are now helping him, you know.
He helps everybody. He helps every trustee.
Yes.
Not just one.
Okay, so.
Mary's got a chance. Mary wants to ask you
Okay, now,
something.
I would like to say something. First of all, yes, you were right. I did speak to you and I said I knew nothing about the contracts. But I do want to tell you this, Mayor, there's many contracts that go on that I am not aware of. So I don't feel that I have to know everything. I would like to know much, but I don't know everything. As for trustee two, being the brother-in-law, he just got on our board. Suhail has been with us for 20 years. When I told you that, yes, he supported us, he didn't support us in a way where he hurt the people in any way. He just got them involved with us and he got them acquainted with us. So we had a better position. He didn't do anything that was illegal. Suhail, you've worked with us all these years. When you came to us in 2020, in 2001, our village was only 42 years old. Where were all these people that wanted to help us today? You were there for us. As for you making money, I don't know any businessman that would go into business and not try to make money. If he's making money, he's not depriving our citizens. Our citizens are getting the best because he makes sure that these men come in, they don't bother us, they don't do anything to hurt us. Our residents are not lacking anything. I don't know what to say, but nice things about all the things that you have done for us. And I feel that you should be commended and not be looked down upon. Maybe my adjectives are not correct right now because I'm just very nervous. But I do want you to know that you didn't do anything illegal by helping us, and we really appreciate this. And like I said, Mohammed, he only got on the board. So as for talking about relatives, we're all here to help our relatives. And he hasn't done anything illegal. He's only been here a short time, and what little time he has, he's been concerned about our residents.
Done?
That's all.
Okay, I will answer. I have very respect for Ms. Schroeder. I know her for last 25 years. Number one, lot of people, they were coming to former Mayor Linda Jackson, ask for ground so they can have same opportunity what Mr. Buddy has, And she refused all the time, She said, talk with Mr. Buddy, Number one, you say it was not coming. Question were coming, people were talking with, former mayor, Number two, when it's coming, interest of resident, interest of one family, I will promote interest of resident, You are running business, 6 people, you can give body free to anybody, I don't care, But it's your decision, it's not mine. I don't like that decision because my resident, they are paying a lot of fees, lot of tax, I care about that, They put me over here, they trusted me. I won by 2 votes. To me, even if I had won by 1 vote, that's a lot to me, I ran my campaign by 1 person. I went into court legal system. I fought everywhere. And I am mayor, I'm Glendale Heights president. I will fight for my resident no matter what, for the best. Yes. Yes, Mr. Siddiqui.
Yeah.
Okay, another, I tell you what, Mr. Siddiqui and Mr. Body, he came to my home. And they said, we want, ground. I said, it will be on merit and to the higher bidder. They can deny, they did not come. But
Okay.
in my DNA, I don't like,
My name has enough.
You come or not, Mr. Trustee?
Okay, let
Well,
me.
first answer, did
No,
you come or not?
absolutely rubbish you are talking here. Okay, let me.
Listen, mind your language, number
I
one.
am minding my
Did
language.
you come to
because
my home or
you
not? Mr.
have
Bari,
been
did you
dragging
come
my
to my home or
family
not?
Again and again. I cannot take this.
I-
Please.
I cannot
do
lie,
not put
period.
drag families here. I have a question.
Who's it?
Yes, me.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry.
I wholeheartedly support you if your intentions are honest, but it's not. Let me ask you, Mr. Flint, how many times have you seen Mr. Mehta at mayor's office? When was the first time he has been in the mayor's office?
Mr. Flint, let me talk.
No, I'm asking,
I
I'm
will
talking to
give-
Mr. Flint.
Listen, I talk with Mr. Flint.
I am
talk-
asking a question. You can
No,
ask
you
later
are
on.
asking,
It's
I can
my-
answer, in a better way than
I
Mr.
know.
Flint.
I'm
Because I
asking
have
Mr.
meetings
Flint.
with-
I'm asking Mr. Flint, I have a right to ask Mr. Flint, how many times have you seen, and if there is, I'm seeing that there are multiple people who are interested, no, it's not. It's just Mr. Mehta. Every time you see giving the field, Mr. Mehta's name came. And also, one interesting thing which I found, Mr. Mehta formed this Midwest Cricket Club on July 8, 2021. July 8, 2021, meaning right after Mr. Mayor got elected, and right after when Mr. Maron said that Mayor wants to terminate this contract, this whole plan starts baking up. That, okay, we are gonna take the fields from ACC and wanna give not any eligible person, but only one, which Mr. Mayor has been meeting in his office quite a bit, and which he has been dealing with, and it is only Mr. Mehta. And so, Mr. Flint, my question is still there. When was the first time, and how many times have you seen Mr. Mehta?
As I recall, I've seen Mr. Mehta twice, as I recall,
Okay,
prior to board meetings.
okay.
Let me talk also. I met with Mr. Mehta more than 2 times. Thank you, Mr. Flint. But I think I am elected person. Anybody can talk with me. Anybody can meet with me. You came with your brother-in-law to my home. Did you get ground? No. I'm
Okay.
open person. Anybody can talk with me. I will work on merit.
Okay.
You
Can
can
I,
give free, fine.
can I answer that? Okay,
No,
so
no,
if,
no,
no, you said that I came to your, okay, I may be, like, maybe out of my mind, since I know that the Board of Trustees are the one who is going to decide. Mayor has no power, so why should, I'll be coming to your home begging for, hey, give the field to Mr. Bari. I mean, I must be insane to come to you because you have no power. The real power lies to the board. You already said that. We all know that. Why should I go and come to you? Who are you? You are just a symbolic figure. That's it.
You already indicated you're abstained from all voting on this.
And also, I am abstaining
That's
from the
right.
beginning. You know, you are putting, although Mr. Estrino, is it like a conflict of interest for me? It's not necessary that I should be abstained, correct?
That's correct.
It's just my ethics which told me, because I am an ethical person. I do not drag families. I do not name people in front of I do not go this low. I am not that kind of person, Mr. Mayor. I am not that low that I drag families. I named, Linda, this, no, this is not how I brought up. And I'm not gonna make a mockery of these institutions like that. I was brought up by high values, respect others, give respect, take respect. That's how I was brought up. And I feel so sorry, so low right now, especially what kind of message we are sending, especially when you are from the same country as I have. I get calls, I get so many other trustees call. They ask me and I feel embarrassed. Believe me, I am so embarrassed. I feel embarrassed in front of my family. When I go home, I feel embarrassment. And I was thinking about giving a resignation. I am this close. You can ask Mr. Strino. I discussed this morning with Mr. Strino. I am about to give resignation because I am not here for this circus. My purpose was the betterment for my district people. I'm trying hard for cameras, which I'm glad that we are gonna pass resolution for that. I'm trying hard for the roads, which I'm glad that I did for my residents. I am fighting hard for the banquet hall, which I'm gonna see in results. But I'm not here for this circus. You bring so much low on when you drag families. We are all part of this family. When I joined the village of Glendale Heights, I join a family, and we consider you as a head of the family. But you are the one who is putting us in a disgrace way. I'm sorry.
Mr. Trustee Siddiqui,
I am finished. Thank you very much.
You came that I should hire your wife, I said, no, I don't believe in nepotism. Yes or no? Just say yes or no.
Okay, again.
Number one. Number two.
Again, I'm not
Off
gonna.
subject right
Hold
now.
on, we lost all track of what's going
What
on.
values do you have,
Mr.
You know,
Coker,
you know, we're not,
Yes, go
we
ahead.
can't talk over each other. It won't work.
Doesn't work.
So,
Light, yes,
and,
go
and,
ahead.
and the mayor is the chairman of the meeting, so you have to recognize who you want to speak, but other trustees can't talk over until they're finished. You have to
I have my
accord.
hand- I got my
No,
hand up
I understand,
for
but
about
you have
Mr.
to,
Light, go ahead. Trustee Light.
Oh,
I got
I,
my hand off for about 10 minutes.
all right, Pat's arm is gonna fall off. Can you ask Pat first, because his arm is sore. Come back to me in a minute.
Go ahead.
he wants you to, Mr. Mayor, he wants you to acknowledge Pat Meritato.
All right, thank you.
Pat's arm is tired.
Do you want to talk on that?
No, he's
Okay,
go,
yes.
I'll go next.
Go ahead.
I received probably 4 or 5 calls. And they're telling me what everybody understands. We got a circus going on. Everybody I talk to, their concern is not cricket. So I don't know what this whole deal is. Residents, they're all up in arms. It's not, my residents don't care about cricket. They're worried about other stuff that we have to run this village. I mean, they're not worried about cricket. I mean, what deal we make with him or we make with the other guy. They're not worried about cricket. So, I don't know. I mean, let's do something with this thing.
I agree.
Let's get it done. I don't care, 40,000, 50,000, whatever it is. let's get it done and move on, because we got other work to do in this village besides talking about cricket that actually nobody in this village cares about. That's the bottom line.
Yes, anybody?
Chester.
Mr.
I got one thing to say. Tuesday night, I was at Salerno's funeral home at a wake. I walked in there with my wife, two gentlemen says, "Hi, Chester." I look at them, never seen them before in my life. They says, I went and paid my respects with my wife. Walking out, they stopped me again. They want to know what's going on with this village. They says, all we hear is negative. Everything is negative, negative, negative with this village. We never had this. I said, sir, that's your opinion. I'll bring it to the board, but I thank you for your comments, and I left.
Anybody else?
I'm just still looking to get it, I'm just trying to find out, did the state's attorney know about the RFP that we had put out before the contract was signed with you guys? I mean, apparently, can you do that, please? I'm sorry.
This is really our time. It's not appropriate for you to address the board. You'll have another opportunity
Yeah, you
at-
can talk later.
before the close of the session.
I just want to know if this,
But Doug might be able to give you.
Doug, can you shed some light on that?
No, not on that, but we do need to come to a resolution
Yes.
on this, because this is under old business. Under our board meeting last, we were directed to work out an agreement with Mr. Bari. We need direction from the board based on the contract that we presented to the board today on, do we want to continue to work with Mr. Bari, or do we want to do something different?
I think we have given the chance to you guys, and now the board is gonna take over. I would recommend that the two trustees and Ms. Schmidt and you go and talk to the ACC and bring the recommendation to the board.
So this is the board decision. I'm just trying to bring some resolution to this right now, because we have several other presentations that, and I'm not cutting the board off. I don't mean to be doing that. But we have several other presentations that have to happen tonight.
Right.
And it's already 9 o'clock. And we need to finalize what we're going to do with the contract that was presented tonight and how we're going to proceed with that.
Mr. Flynn, I think we should go with what Mr. Siddiqui said.
This is a motion that the board has to make, not
Yeah,
me.
we can.
So motion,
you
I
guys
bring
get
the motion to
together
the board.
And talk with Mr. Berry so we get a common ground.
Yeah. So I bring the motion to the board to have Chester.
Listen, my floor, you know. Yes, Mr.
Don,
Smith.
can that happen with the Open Meetings Act?
Yes, I mean, the matter is on, the matter is on the agenda, so it's appropriate to take any number of actions. You can pass it tonight. Of course, you know, as it's been said, Mr. Bari hasn't even had a chance to review it, so I wouldn't recommend passing it tonight, because we don't know that Mr. Bari is gonna sign it. You have the alternative to make a motion to put this on the next agenda, have a committee meet with Mr. Bari to negotiate it, because I don't know that anybody's met with Mr. Bari. So those are some of the alternatives, but the Open Meeting Act would not preclude you from taking any one of those actions, tabling this matter to another date.
Okay.
So,
Yes, Ms.
So
Trustee Pat.
what are we trying to prove here? I mean, what's our goal?
our goal is to see, because I think what we agreed on the last board meeting is that Mr. Bari is not paying a fair share, correct? So we're going to renegotiate the contract, but so far what I'm hearing is Mr. Bari didn't even get a chance to look at the contract. So we are going to, so the board member is now, this time is going to meet Mr. Bari, listen to his, and as I said, where all these numbers, 44, 55, 60, 70,000 are coming, I already asked Keith, okay, what we were getting from the other fields. So we have to compare, we have to make a educational judgment on not on just someone who is not living in this neighborhood and is coming out and giving us that. So I would recommend Mr. Pojek, Mr. Schmidt, Clerk Schmidt, and Doug Flint to be the part of the committee, meet with Mr. Bari, maybe tomorrow or something, and then bring it, so we can get this thing done before the end of this year with a special board meeting, maybe on Monday or Tuesday, and get this recommendation and get this thing done, so the next year we have a lot of other things on the plate.
Okay, so it's $27,000 now. So you're gonna renegotiate for more than 27,000.
We are going to
It
negotiate.
can't be less than 27,000.
Yeah, we are going to renegotiate whatever is best. You know, it depends on Mr. Bari as well. We have to listen, okay, what he has to come. We just made up a number because, okay, it's 27,000. Maybe Mr. Bari will pay more. I don't know. I do not run ACC.
Well, we should have did this. This should have been done. This should have been done right after the last meeting.
Okay, so you are saying, okay, let's say if Mr. Bari is agreed on 27,000, we can get this thing done right now? This is
No.
what you're saying? Are you saying
No,
that?
he needs to
No,
look at
I'm
the
not saying that.
contract.
I'm saying that you should have been negotiating this contract right after the last board meeting. I mean, it went 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah.
How many meetings took place? I'm so sorry.
Let me, please, hold
Three
your
board meetings,
horses,
I
hold
believe.
your horses. I know your brother-in-law is sitting in front of you.
It's not with
Number
the
one,
brother-in-law.
Mr. Mehta, do you want to say something?
You know,
We
if you're
can't
gonna
now.
do that,
Right now.
I will give
Really,
you a chance.
you
I
re-
will give you a chance. I will give you a chance.
Hold
You
on.
want to come first? Okay, go ahead.
No,
what you really have to do, if you
Wait
want
a
to do
minute,
this
wait a minute,
appropriately,
wait a
this
minute,
is
I'm not
not,
done. Wait,
it's
The
not done yet.
attorney's talking.
Can I say, it is not proper, under our rules, to let either Mr. Mehta or Mr. Bari speak at this time.
Right.
If they speak at public discussion either before, which we had, or they speak at public discussion at the close. This is the time for you to dialogue and make decisions.
That's what I'm
If you choose to suspend those rules because you want to hear from Mr. Mehta or Mr. Bari, you can do that by a majority vote of the board. But I don't know if you want to do that or not.
I don't want to do that now.
I didn't-
I'm
okay.
talking to Mohammed.
The thing is, you are cross-talking. and
I
that's
want to
not
know,
way
I
talk.
want to know
No.
if this negotiations is going to be more than $27,000. That's all I'm telling you. It
I
can't be
guess-
any less than 27,000.
I guess so, yeah. It's going to, they're going to meet, and this is, again, you know, the board members are also the part of this village. They also want for the betterment of village. If we think that our fields are that valuable, obviously we are gonna get more money. Oh, Mr. Chester is saying something.
Yeah, Mr.
The only thing I'd like to say is, why don't we just vote on this tonight
Yeah.
for the ACC, subject to Mr. Barry's approval? We can talk with Doug, anybody else.
Can't do that.
No, we can do that.
Because if the committee says they want $35,000 and he says, I don't want to pay $35,000.
That's, the vote is subject to his approval.
How much?
You're not,
27,000.
27.
The original contract was 29,000 that you signed. You approved 29,000 with a contract, correct?
That was cancelled.
Right.
And it was again open to for body, you know. So you are
I give
trustee,
up.
you are
Don,
decision
Don,
maker.
can we
You can do-
committee.
You can do whatever you want. I have no say. I'm nobody.
I can't win at this thing.
So-
Go
so,
ahead, you guys,
okay.
I mean, you
get
can
your
give to
committee
Mr.
going,
Bari,
do what
fine,
you want to
but-
do, but then let me know what it is.
Mr. Are you done?
I'm done, I'm done, I'm done, I'm
yeah,
done. Stick a fork in me.
I don't know what,
Mr. Bari?
So can we first, Don, we decide about the motion? first?
I think it's pretty clear that we're not gonna be able to negotiate and conclude this tonight with the dialogue that's going on. So I think the only alternative that is available to us is a motion to move this to a date, another date, direct the staff and/or an elected official to meet with Mr. Bari and come back to the board at this date, whatever date you all choose,
with the contract that Mr. Barry is going to present. Because the last action of the board was a motion to deal with Mr. Barry, and unless you've changed your mind on that, that hasn't occurred yet, to my knowledge. So,
If he agrees, fine.
well, I think we decide,
Yes.
we, the board,
Yes.
decide, are we okay with that? Can we get a date certain?
Yeah, so first we need a member, I believe Chester Pojek, Bill Schmidt, and Mary Schmidt, and Doug Flint would meet Mr. ACC to renegotiate the contract.
Well, let's just start slowly.
There
Is
is already
there a
committee-
consensus to
There
do
is
that?
already committee.
No, we already gave the chance to that committee. We now need the elected members to be the part of this.
Doug, and who else? Chester, Bill, Doug,
Bill, Chester, and Mary Schmidt.
Murray.
It depends on when you're doing this. I mean, we're talking 2 weeks till Christmas, guys.
Yeah, so what we are going to do, maybe tomorrow, if you can meet, and then bring it on a special board meeting, let's say next week, Monday or Tuesday.
We really have commitments for a lot of those days. I mean, between now and Christmas, there's just way too
And
much
that's
to
why,
do.
yeah, I want this to be done, so we are done with this. And I appreciate that, if we can have some, I mean, if you have some, then I can.
You
we can-
guys can record it.
Excuse me. When's our next board meeting?
January
January.
6th.
January, guys, we're done.
We
We're,
don't
we're
have
done for
anything.
the year.
We're done with the board meetings.
We-
Our
we're
first
done with
board
the
meeting
board.
will be in January, right?
Yeah. So we can have a special board meeting and get this
No.
thing done.
No special board meeting.
I would like to table this until the meeting of January 6th. We're talking a week past New Year's, and
We have
Okay,
to delete
I-
it because Mr. Barry's going on vacation for
Yeah.
a couple months.
We all got things going on.
So tabled with,
You got a table to a date certain.
yeah,
Which is what
but,
Bill.
but there needs to
Right.
be some direction between now and and then
That-
for the table.
And that
So many
can
meetings like
happen,
this.
but let's just maybe
Okay.
take one step at a time. There's a motion on the floor to table this to a date certain, which is really just the next.
Next meeting.
The next meeting, which is January 6th. Is there a second before, you need a second to even discuss it, so,
Second.
okay?
Who
So
made the
now you
second?
can discuss whether
Mike Lloyd.
that date is a good date or is not a good date. I will say to you, trustee Siddiqui, that to put a date in a couple of days, and when we don't achieve that again, I mean, we tried 2 weeks ago, we couldn't get it done. Is it real to think we can get it done in 2 days? I don't know. I mean,
Under OMA, we have to post it for 48 hours.
you have to post in 48 hours.
So you cannot have a meeting tomorrow.
Well, not tomorrow.
Sometime in March?
Okay, since he's going on,
March
we
is
can put it on.
I am not, I'm not
Mr.
taking
Barry,
this
you
all the
cannot
way to
talk in.
March. There's no way we're gonna be discussing this thing at every board meeting until March. Man, no.
No.
Yes, sir.
No, I won't even come to any meetings if that's the case. I'll call my residents up by phone.
Okay.
okay.
Okay, Mr. Smith, yes.
Every labor contract we do, we have a committee that negotiates with the union or organization. We then reach an agreement with them at the committee level. The bargaining entity that we are dealing with approves it. That is brought to the board then approves it. That's what I'm suggesting we do here.
All right, so I think we agreed on one thing.
Excuse me, Mr. Smith, the thing is, it's a lot of hassle is going on. Why not you open, you 6 people open it for general public, so it can be done easily. Why is just Mr. Barry, sitting, brother-in-law and these trustee, we want to give to Barry, we want to give Barry. But
Because
why
the-
there is equal protection law.
The board has already directed that we will deal with ACC next year. That has been accomplished already.
Yes.
That's in the books.
That can be changed, Mrs. Smith. Next year, same thing will happen. Give to body, you know. That's it.
Next year, we have time to write an RFP and have some idea as to what we're dealing with. Right now, we're feeling around in the dark.
Mr. Smith, RFP is already written, and that's with Mr. Smith. That's with Ms. Pete. That is written. Why not work today, you know? Why next year, you know?
We've already
The same thing
decided
will
that,
happen next year.
We already decided with
Yes,
the
Mr. Light.
Yes.
we already decided that we were dealing with ACC. We've done this as a
He should,
board.
you know, that
And the
next year.
contract
Why
was
not this
supposed
year?
to be discussed with Sohail, and it didn't come up until 1:30 this afternoon. The contract was finally approved by you. How many meetings were had with Sohail during this?
He came to my home. This trustee came to my home.
What
All right.
are you talking
No,
about?
no, the contract
Other
negotiation.
candidate came to me. There was another Mr. Khan.
We are talking about this
Came to
contract.
me.
Mayor,
This
we are talking this
contract-
contract.
This
And,
con-
We are talking about this contract. If you are serious,
Please
Yeah.
raise your hand.
Okay.
Raise your hand if you want to talk.
I call the question.
That's all. I was just curious how many times the contract was discussed with Mr. Bari and you and the team that worked on this contract, or was it discussed at all with him? If it wasn't, then no, he needs time to review this and to go over this, and we've made the choice to do this. The RFP is long gone. We tried that got blown up. When you took a check and a contract from someone else, it kind of dismantled itself. I'm sorry, but it dismantled itself. It was
I
done.
call the question.
Yes, go ahead.
We need a vote on the,
Tabling.
Table.
yes.
We have a
Table.
motion to table till January 6th on the floor.
Not January. Please don't speak, you know. You are not entitled.
Are
Raise
we-
your hand, then you can talk, you know, otherwise
Are
not.
we
You cannot just raise,
Got a
you
motion.
know, noise, you know.
motion to table or is?
Till
that
6,
motion
to
of
table.
This is legislative
Someone
session.
is gonna discuss with this?
You should know, you know, what's that.
That's what we'll have to do.
Yeah.
So, there's a call for the question, which basically means on the motion to table this
table?
matter to,
January
January
6th.
6th, there should be a roll call vote.
Roll call.
Trustee Pojek.
No.
Trustee Schroeder.
I want to make sure what I'm voting on. Are we voting?
To table this.
Just to move-
Till January 6th.
Just to move it to January 6th.
Stop
Not to
discussion
discuss
tonight.
it tonight anymore, to move it to January 6th. And then I think what's gonna happen, if I understood trustee Schmidt correctly, another team, he's gonna ask another team, or the negotiations continue with Mr. Bari. So this is just to move this matter to January 6th.
I do want to know if Mr. Barry will be in town on January.
What is the difference? Vote yes or no?
Well,
Yes or
I
no?
mean, yes
I,
and no.
yes,
Okay.
I'll go along with that.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui.
No.
Trustee Light.
Yes.
Trustee Meritato.
No.
We're tied.
Then you have to call the mayor.
Mayor.
No, this is my very, yes.
So this matter will be placed on the January 6th agenda. And in the meantime, is there any direction that any trustee wants to give with respect to the negotiation of the contract, of this contract?
Yeah, as we said that, you know, we need those
Let me
4
please raise
people.
your hand.
Yes.
Yes. go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
So it's basically, I think, my only question is how long we have to go through this cycle. So it's basically next year we will be discussing this again without any outcome. I mean, when and how, who are those people who will be meeting with Mr. Bari to negotiate that? First, we need to decide that. We table it, but we need to decide who will be meeting and bringing to the board their recommendation.
He has copy of draft. He can read and then.
Just-
We are not talking about the draft or anything, we want to talk about, because we are not going to go what draft you made, we want to go and renegotiate the contract. So when I say renegotiate, meaning we have to listen to him as well. It's not going to be a one-sided contract, what you drafted or what you drafted with the help of, with your friends. So my question is, those trustees, Mr. Pojak, Mr., who else want to be in that? It's,
Not me.
okay. Mary Schroeder, would
I
you
will-
like?
If it helps, I will change my vote.
Okay. Oh, you want to change your vote?
Yes, I will.
Okay. All right. So you want to change
It's
to?
done. You cannot change now voting. It's done.
No.
You can't do, you have to have a motion to reconsider. I don't know, do you really, is that what you'd like to do?
Yes.
Yeah, I will. make the
Otherwise, you have, okay, then you, somebody on the
On the prevailing
prevailing
side.
side, which is that we're tabling it, has to make a motion to reconsider.
Mary Schroeder was on the prevailing side.
She can make that motion to reconsider.
We would call the roll again.
You make, well, she needs a second for
Motion to
that motion.
reconsider.
Okay, we have a motion to reconsider. Is there a second?
Second.
No, you can't, it's from the prevailing side.
Prevailing
Chester
side.
voted no.
Right.
So that means that either
Schmidt
Light,
Or Light.
Schmidt,
or Coker?
well, not Coker, but as the president, I don't think he would, it would be the trustees. So it would
Okay.
either be Light or Schmidt, and if they don't
voted no.
second it, then the motion will fail for a lack of a second. I'm not hearing a second, so the motion to reconsider fails.
Okay.
Okay, should we proceed now?
So so we're tabled to
Yes,
the
Mr.
6th.
Okay.
Pat Meritato wants to speak. There should be some direction, I think, from the board that who's gonna deal with ACC to bring the negotiation back on the 6th, so that we don't have this same situation on the 6th.
Yes, Mr. Pat.
Okay, that's
Okay.
what I was gonna say. Doug, can you handle this committee with Sohail? Negotiate the contract,
Which
Then-
committee?
Chester and I think
Chester
Mary,
and,
Mary said that she's, Mary, are you want to be the part of the committee? I don't want to be because, you know, he said that.
Can you please
Yeah.
let him speak?
I'm talking.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So, Mary, would you like to be the part of the
All
committee?
right, I will be.
Okay, Chester, Mary.
Trustee Siddiqui, please wait for your turn.
No, I'm
Telling
just,
you 4 or 5 times, wait. Yes, Pat, are you done?
okay, so it's gonna be Mary, Chester,
No, then you're gonna have to post the meeting, so I wouldn't do
gotta
that.
post it.
You
just
need
two.
Just two.
Oh, two?
so two,
Just
so it'll
two.
be you
Mary, Chester, and Doug.
and Mary,
You certainly need the administrator.
Doug, for this committee,
That's fine.
okay? And then just negotiate whatever you have to do. Bring it back to us,
Can't negotiate this contract with.
No, be,
run it by the mayor, of course, and then
Right.
just,
They only
and
put
just,
two, it's up
Well,
to
we
them.
will, we will have something prepared so
posted.
we can bring it back to the board on January 6th.
okay, good. January 6th, I would like this thing to be done.
yes.
I mean, one way or the other.
Good luck.
I wanna see this thing done. The dancing clowns, I wanna see them walking out the door.
Yes.
I wanna see it done. So have the committee, run all the negotiations, run it by the mayor, and then bring it to us, and whatever it is, it is.
so that would be our New Year's resolution.
So
There you
who's
go.
on the committee?
It's, Chester Pojak
Okay,
and Mary Schroeder,
okay.
And Doug
Doug.
Flint.
and Doug. Doug is gonna head the
Two
committee.
trustee, one, Doug.
Okay.
Is not Keith? Keith is not on that?
You know what? Put
Wanna add
Yeah,
Keith?
put Keith on it.
Okay. 4 of us.
So there'll be four yous on the committee.
Very good.
Okay, could we move on now to,
Please.
Yes.
some important stuff?
In case of ties, there should be like 5 member, 3 or 5 or 7, So can you consider somebody else also, like a appointed director,
Let's
like
see, 1, 2, 3.
No,
the four
no.
people should
It's-
be like
No, I can't
five,
go, Bill.
so.
It's just a recommendation.
Yeah, it's
not
only a
gonna be-
recommendation. I mean, they're not gonna, they're
Yeah,
not gonna
we are not
vote on
gonna-
it. It's only a recommendation for the board. I mean, they're not gonna vote.
No, and we certainly don't have the ability to have a contract signed. It's up to the board whether you want to
Right.
approve that contract or not.
Right. Okay, thanks, Doug. Okay, Mayor?
Okay, I will take this. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Now, we're on new business,
We're
Mayor?
done.
We're down to business.
We are,
Old, no, old business.
Yeah.
We just finished old business.
now we had
Old business 2122.
Right.
Yeah, here.
Sorry.
Is, okay. Okay,
We're
now
item
we
number
have,
22.
the consent agenda number 21, that comes under, number 2, old business. Who will
I
be
almost
doing-
forgot what we were
I
talking
will,
about.
Yes,
I was just questioning on these resolutions, the streets that were picked on here, I was concerned with, I mean, a piecemeal that we're putting parts and pieces together to fix stuff that we had to go back and, I mean, we're tearing up roads and disturbing people and residents several different times in order to fix the roads. Can't we just pick at least one, maybe 2 roads that we can get done, finished, so that we're not like constantly bothering residents with construction, making crews work double time to get stuff moved from here to there? And to me, it sounds like a complete disaster just waiting to happen, plus with seams and everything else.
Not actually put together like that, trustee Lice. The streets, the way they've been put together is based on the condition of the roads and the length of them and the cost of them. So if you're talking about Lincoln Avenue, for example, and the way it's
Absolutely.
laid, yeah. So Lincoln Avenue to do the entire street would be $1 million, and our budget for the road is around 3.something million, 3.2 million. So Lincoln would take the majority of the road programme this year. And we have done that in other areas like Windy Point Drive, like Hesseman Drive, where the roads are so expensive and they're so long, it's going to take some time, over a year or 2 years, to be able to do that. So in order to be able to get the maximum we can, that's why Lincoln Avenue has been ended at I believe, Paul Avenue and Bloomingdale, which makes sense because it's roughly about half of where the road splits. So that's the reason why it's been done like that. And we have done that in the past on quite a few roads, because otherwise Lincoln Avenue would take over $1 million and it would take a third of the available money that we have. We wouldn't get much more done.
Right, I mean, I agree, our roads are terrible, all the way through, they're all
Yeah.
terrible. But I just look at, we're interrupting residents several different times. Every year, they've got to deal with, if we do half of Lincoln this year, the other half of Lincoln the next year, then we're just slowly beating up on everybody. And it gets tiring, it really does get tiring with all that stuff. I don't think we've ever done a lot, have we done this before, where we break up roads so?
I mean, we've got quite a lot of arterial roads where the cost of redoing them, the width of the road and the length of the road, the cost of redoing them is no way we could afford over even 1 year or 2 years. It is something that we have to try and address. Things like Hesseman Drive, Stevenson Drive, we couldn't do those on one annual budget.
How long is Hesterman total? I mean,
I don't have that on me right now. I've got a section of Hesseman.
It's about a mile.
It's long.
Yeah.
It's long.
it is
And
a
it's
full.
particularly wide as well, and it's not the only one. We have quite a number of streets that are like that. And we're not going to be able to do them in one MFT, in one road programme year.
And our funding just dropped all the way through, right, with this, I'm just questioning, the whole thing is just, it looked very strange on paper, just to see so many different bits and pieces being done.
We're just cutting that one road in half. We're not doing bits of it. Hesseman Drive, we'll be doing bits with it. Windy Point Drive, we did exactly the same thing, because each section was over $500,000. And I think we did 6 sections on Windy Point Drive. There's just no other way of being able to construct that road unless it's over a 3 or 4 year period.
It's a heavily traffic road, I know that for a fact. I mean,
Yeah.
I've just, it's frustrating to see it. I know
I understand, but
we need
it's,
so much more road work done, you know, and our roads are terrible. And I keep saying, my residents on Lincoln, I know that it's horrible down by Sandra Court. I've got some terrible potholes that they just keep growing. And it's
well,
getting,
the budget we have is only 3 million, you know, and that 3 million takes us about maybe 3% of the entire roads in the village. I mean, that's what we're addressing, 3 or 4% of the entire road each year. So it's a slow process on 3 million.
I don't know, it just seems like a little.
Okay, any questions? Anybody else? So I need motion to approve. Mr. Smith.
So
first.
moved.
Second.
Second, Trustee Pat. Or do we need roll call? Roll call, please.
Did you have a motion yet?
We don't have a motion.
No, I had in a motion.
No, of course we do.
Yeah.
Which one? On
This
item
number
21?
21.
So it's a motion to approve?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Smith, number one, a motion, second is.
Yeah,
I
second it.
Okay. Trustee Light,
Yeah,
trustee Meritato.
Oh, excuse me, yes.
Trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui.
Yes.
Okay, number three, a motion to authorize the finance director to process accounts, sorry, this one. A resolution to authorize the allocation of rebuilt LNI bond funds for the 2022 Residential Road Improvement Program, IDOT, Resident 2021 R-129. Discussion.
Need a motion first.
A motion.
Motion first, then second. Need a motion.
Motion, trustee Pojek, and
Motion
second.
to approve.
Second.
Trustee, Pat, second.
Bill seconded.
Okay,
Second.
because there were two hands, you know, so, okay, two people. Discussion?
Discussion?
Yeah, discussion.
If no discussion, roll call.
Okay, no discussion, roll call, please.
Trustee Meritato.
Yes.
Trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui.
Yes.
Trustee Light.
yes.
Motion is approved. New business. There is a request with direction to proceed on liability insurance, and we will view a presentation by Lee Cozad and Samantha Schock from Alliant to present liability insurance coverage.
Good evening. I am Leah Kozad. I'm the insurance representative from Alliant Insurance Services, your broker. We broker the property, liability, and workers' compensation for the village. This year, we were in negotiations with your incumbent insurance carrier of Travelers. Travelers provides your property insurance as well as your package liability. Those negotiations were, I believe, very successful in the sense that there was a slight increase in the premium, but is somewhat driven by exposures such as increase in property values and other items such as budget. So we were able to negotiate with Travelers your renewal premium of $408,082. A similar negotiation occurred with your cyber liability carrier. Now, the cyber marketplace has taken on a big review of how they price the coverages, and we are seeing across the industry increases in the neighborhood of 100 to 150%. And if a entity has experienced claims, it has been pushing upwards of 200%. So the renewal this year for the cyber was $12,677. The crime coverage, which is also in its third year of a 3-year term, so its premium stayed the same at $2,722. The last portion of your insurance program is your excess workers' compensation. And we went out to market to collect different premium options through different carriers. The primary reason for this is obviously to get the best terms and conditions for the village, but also the incumbent, Safety National, has changed their appetite, which means they are making their minimum premium $150,000 for any entity. So the village would have incurred roughly a $50,000 increase in premium. So obviously, we had to work with other carriers. One carrier that came in with the best pricing is Illinois County's Risk Management Trust. Not only did they have the best pricing, they offered it with a lower self-insured retention, which means for each and every claim, the village takes on a certain dollar amount. ICRMT priced it at a $300,000 self-insured retention. And that compares to Safety National, which offered a $500,000 self-insured retention. So in essence, the village will take on $200,000 less per workers' comp claim. So if a claim should exceed that retention, it hits the carrier. Illinois County's Risk Management Trust is a little different in that they require the claims be handled within their company. They did review your current attorney that handles litigated work comp claims, Mr. Robert Smith. He went through the vetting process and was approved, and actually the claims adjusters was very impressed with Mr. Smith and is looking forward to working with him if the need should arise. So at the end of the day, the overall program for the Village of Glendale Heights for the 22-23 policy term is showing an annual premium of $586,827. So I know at this time we're just asking the village board's direction to proceed. That's what you are requesting.
The ICRMT overall cost for the workman's comp part is $30,000 less than what we have with Safety National. So there's a $30,000 savings moving to ICRMT, plus we have $200,000 less exposure for all employees, a $300,000 less exposure if a police officer gets severely injured, such as happened recently, and incurs expenses. Safety National for police officers is self-retention of $600,000. So we're reducing our exposure by $200,000 and $300,000, and we're reducing our cost by $30,000.
Any questions? Yes, Mr. Pat.
Hi.
Hello.
My only question was that I'm going to apologize for the board and the mayor for that little scene that you're saying that's not really us.
No, I understand. It's all part of trying to do what's best
Okay.
for the village, and I respect the discussions that you did have.
All right,
So,
thank you.
Well, thank you
Anybody
for your
else?
time. It's been my pleasure serving as your insurance broker.
Anybody else? None? Motion to approve recommendation from the Mesro Insurance Services for insurance coverage as presented. Trustee Smith.
So moved.
Second.
Second, Trustee Light. A discussion. No discussion, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder?
Yes.
There is a,
Mayor, 1 second. Don, do you want to talk about number 5?
Yeah, we're asking that, the item, the ordinance to waive bid and, accept the proposal of Flock Group, be removed from this agenda. We'll place it on the 6th agenda. It's just not ready to go yet, on January 6th.
Number 5?
Yes.
Thank you.
This really doesn't delay us at all, Trustee Siddiqui. I was worried about that.
so looking forward
Yeah,
for this.
So
Almost fell off his chair.
it's, there's some language that we need to work out
Okay.
contractually, just to make everything right.
Yep.
And we get into the colder weather, but almost all of our systems that are going in are gonna be attached to our pre-existing poles.
Okay.
So we're not worried about trying to drive stuff in the ground through a frozen ground, that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So we're okay.
All right, cool.
No, we're just removing it from this agenda. You'll see it again on January 6th. No,
No,
nothing.
we're on item 2. Motion to waive the first reading.
First reading is waived on new business item 3.
We need a motion.
Need a motion first to waive on items 3 and
And 4.
4.
3 and 4, okay. First, yeah, trustee Pat.
Motion to waive first reading on number 3 and 4.
Second.
Second is trustee Pojek.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritano?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Number 6. There is a request to make a resolution.
We need number 3. You just waived it.
Number 3, there.
We just
Gotta
did
read it.
Yeah, you gotta read that. This one, you gotta read this one.
item
This
3.
Yeah, this one.
Oh, number 3, okay. An ordinance to amend Table 4-1 of subsection A entitled Obstructions of Section 11-4-7 entitled Yards of Chapter 4 entitled General Zoning Regulations and Section 11-4-15 entitled Landscaping and Buffers, Refuse and Storage Areas of Chapter 4 entitled General Zoning Regulation and Section 11-10B-3 entitled Conditional Uses of Article B entitled C-2 Community Commercial District of Chapter 10 entitled Commercial Districts and Section 11-11C-2 entitled Permitted Uses of Article C entitled BP Business Park Districts of Chapter 11 entitled Office, Business Park and Industrial District and Section 11-11D-2 entitled Permitted Uses of Article D entitled I-Light Industrial District of Chapter 11 entitled Office, Business Park and Industrial Districts, all contained in Title 11 entitled Zoning Regulations of the Municipal Code of Ordinances of the Village of the Glendale Heights, first reading, Ordinance 2021-91. Can I get a motion to approve Ordinance 2021-91? Trustee Pat.
So
first.
moved.
Second.
Second, trustee Siddiqui. Discussion. No discussion, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritano?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-91 is approved. Number 4. An ordinance repealing the Village of Glendale Heights Sanitary Sewer Repair Policy, Village Policy Number 99-03, revised April 2003, first reading, Ordinance 2021-92. Can I get a motion to approve Ordinance 2021-92? Trustee Pojek.
So moved.
Trustee Light, second.
Second. Thank you.
Discussion. No discussion, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Meritano?
Yes.
Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-92 is approved. Number 6. There is a request to make a resolution and approve and adopt the nepotism policy as administrative policy number 403 AP for the Village of Glendale Heights, LNI RES 2021-R-130. Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 2021-R-130? presentation, okay.
We need a motion we need a motion.
Motion? Was,
Somebody moving it?
Motion to move it.
trustee,
Motion to move.
Second.
trustee was, she was first in.
I was gonna
Mary's-
remove that. Originally you mentioned it, but Doug is make a statement, correct? You wanted to make a statement?
Yes.
No, I prepared a overview of what the policy is. It's for you to, take action on tonight or not take action on tonight.
I love hearing you talk, Doug. I say go for
Yeah.
it.
My voice is starting to wane today, so.
I know, you're working very hard, you know.
Mr. Flint, the reason I wanted it removed, we never had a chance to, discuss it at all. It should have went to the committee of the whole first. We can discuss it and then move it to new business. It never happened that way.
Understood.
Okay.
Let him give presentation so you will know what's going on, then you can table whatever you want, you know, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
can
go
do
ahead,
that,
Mr.
whatever.
Mr. Flint, go ahead.
Do your presentation, Doug.
Okay. So the purpose, first of all, let me just say, currently, the village does not have a policy on nepotism in any of our policies. We have approximately 4 or 5 relationships throughout the village, not including the police department, that we have relationships with. None currently are affected by this policy because they're in different divisions, right? So this really doesn't affect anybody today. It will affect, obviously, future hirings. Right? And so that's where we're kind of at today. But it does, we do have families, mother, daughter, brothers, sister, brothers, brothers in the police department, 2 sets. But this doesn't affect the police department, but we do have familiar relationships throughout the village. The purpose of the policy is to declare the village of Glendale Heights the village's commitment to a policy of employment and advancement based upon qualifications and merit without discrimination in favor of or in opposition to the employment of immediate family members. That's the purpose. It applies to all candidates for employment, current employees, the village president, village board, elected official of the village of Glendale Heights. The policy shall not apply to instances of nepotism that existed before the enactment of this policy. This policy excludes sworn police officers whose employment is governed by the police commission. Just so everybody understands, the police commission conducts all hiring outside of the auspices of HR in the village, for the most part, and anything else to do with the village. Its own separate board, own separate bylaws. They do discipline, they do demotions, they do everything that goes along, and promotions with the police officers. Policy, I'm not going to read all of this, but it shall be the policy of the village not to hire any full-time or regular part-time position. And we distinct between regular part-time and part-time. Regular part-time is 20 hours or more. We have 30-hour part-timers. This doesn't apply to the 20-hour employee. This does not apply to seasonals, right? So only regular part-time and full-time. Any elected official holding office at the time of contemplated hiring of such family member. Village of Glendale Heights will hire immediate family members of persons currently employed at the village only if the candidate for employment will not be working directly for or supervising an immediate family member. The candidate for employment will not occupy a position in the same line of authority in which the employees can initiate or participate in decisions involving granting an employment benefit which may be available to such immediate family member. 3, the candidate is otherwise qualified and meets all requirements for such employment. So, not going to hire somebody, family member, right? Because elected officials are kind of barred from being hired, family. But brothers of other relationship families, not in the same division, not of the higher rank, can still be hired if they meet all the qualifications. To the extent possible, it shall be the policy of the village to not allow 2 or more immediate family members to work in the same division under circumstances where one immediate family member occupies a position that supervises the other immediate family member or has influence on or will make decisions involving an employment benefit. Portion of the policy does not apply retroactively to employees who are assigned to the same division and would be or otherwise restricted by this portion of the policy at the time. Immediate family. You can read who the immediate family is there. It extends all the way down to sisters-in-laws and brother-in-laws, and household households of the employee. So any living arrangements it applies to, that kind of stuff. So it'll be the policy of Village of Golden Heights not to hire an elected official in any capacity. No village employee or elected official may manage, contract, participate in, or attempt to influence the employment or other village business related to decisions involving an immediate family member or pressure or cause others to do so. Department heads are responsible for the implementation of this and the ongoing watch of this, especially as it goes to relationships. Department heads and division managers are responsible for monitoring changes in employee reporting relations after initial hire to ensure compliance. Not retroactive. The provision of this policy shall not be retroactive, and no action is to be taken concerning familiar relationships of current elected officials employed at the time of adoption of this policy. We don't go backwards, we're only moving forwards. It's a very brief overview of it. Essentially, we want to put a policy in place that restricts the hiring of elected officials, of other significant others to elected officials' families, other significant others of people in authority within the village. That's the goal of the policy. Like, I shouldn't hire my son for anything, right? That's kind of the goal of the policy. Not retroactive. We do not currently have people in charge of others with lines of authority. They're in different divisions. We are working on other policies to mitigate anything that might be construed as that internally. But this is, it's on board docs for you to review thoroughly, right? So you can take it home and read it. Whatever action you want to take today, I'm happy to keep discussing this. If you have suggestions to improve it, we're happy to do that as well. But it's up there for you to review.
Thank you. Discussion, yes.
Doug, has this gone through legal? And is everything okay? I mean,
Yes. This was written by Mike Durkin from our attorney's office
okay.
in cooperation with Nicole and HR. They spent a lot of time collaborating on it. Mr. Durkin is our personnel attorney, right? So he's the one who put it all on paper.
I like Mike. He's good.
Mr. Siddiqui, yes.
So, Doug, can we add cronyism in that?
I'm open to add whatever it is the board wants to
Yeah,
add.
so just not for nepotism, I would like to have cronyism, because that include the friends as well. I believe that's what the,
So we can certainly research other policies that other municipalities have that deal with cronyism and bring back some suggestions if there's stuff out there on that.
Trustee Pojek.
Doug, can you possibly give us a hard copy so we can review it, you know?
Yeah, it's on board docs, but I can put a copy on your desk
I
tomorrow.
appreciate it.
I can put a copy on your desk tomorrow.
I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Trustee Pat.
So,
Oh, Deputy Mayor Pat.
what are you looking for, Doug? I mean, are you looking for us to, could we okay this tonight?
Well, you know, I was asked to be put on here to bring up for a vote, right? If you're not comfortable doing that tonight, then I would suggest that you table this and you rework it back to next board meeting.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb on this one. I'm gonna make a motion to adopt it, but without without what Mohammed said. with the,
Cronyism?
Cronyism or whatever it is.
So, like all policies that we have within the village, right? They're all organic, right? And they all can be added to, they can all be changed, there's nothing fixed in stone, right? They're flexible. And there's things that as you read it, you can ask us to add stuff to it, just like any policy we have in the village. And this isn't any different. It's just new.
Okay, but anything that we add to it, it would have to come back, to us
As an amendment, sure.
as an amendment. Okay, I make a motion to adopt it, to adopt the ordinance.
second.
Trustee Siddiqui, second. A roll call vote, please.
Didn't trustee Light second that before?
Did I
I
ignore
have a
it?
motion written down for
I
this.
think I have a second on that,
Oh,
or
I
Mohammed did.
Who was first among you, I mean?
I did that, or if you want,
I
that's
mean,
fine.
you can
Mike
decide between
seconded
themselves.
before. We do have a motion on the
Okay,
floor.
so that's fine, Mr. Light second.
We were in the discussion.
Okay.
Trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
No.
trustee Schroeder,
No.
trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Siddiqui.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-92 is approved. Number 6, there is a request to make a resolution and approve and adopt the nepotism. This is done, you know?
We did that.
We did this. Oh, okay, so 7, a resolution to authorize the allocation of MFT funds to the 2022 residential.
Mayor,
We're done with all that.
Done public discussion.
yeah, we're back to G.
We did this, Mayor.
Okay.
We're down to, here, to public discussion on agenda items.
I would like to speak.
And under public discussion, we have two people on Zoom that would like to
Over here?
speak.
This one. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
We now go on to public discussion of agenda items. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address this board on an agenda item?
I have two people from Zoom, Adele Salam.
Okay,
Yeah, hello,
and who's the second one?
I'll get to him. Adele,
yeah, I'm here. Am I allowed to talk or?
you're allowed, if you could speak up for me.
Yeah, hi. Hello to the Board of Trustees, Mr. Mayor, and,
We can barely hear you.
Hold on one second, Adele. We're gonna try and work on the audio.
can you guys hear me okay?
No, we can't hear you, okay?
So,
Let's go to Galaxy
Okay.
S21 while we work on Adele.
who's next, Mr. Ed Pope.
Yes,
right?
I'm here.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my question goes to directly to Mr. Mayor. I don't know what took you so long.
Explain
2
your
weeks.
name and your resident address, please.
Sure, R.F. Hokla, 1768 Arlington Lane, Glendale Heights, Illinois, 60139. And my question is to Mayor. He's keep talking about that I'm a mayor of 34,000 people. And he's keep going back to his old friends with the contract. I don't know for how long he's gonna drag this Cricket issue. It's been going on for a month and a half. He's wasting people time for no reason. Since already board member decided that what they want to do and which route they want to go, it's all matter of time to negotiate. But he's keep bringing his friends back with a higher amount. I played cricket for 20 some years, and I know it's not that much money involved in cricket at all. And if he's coming out because he's a millionaire, he can pull all that money out. But I'm a paycheck to paycheck guy. Do you expect me to pay that much amount of money for a cricket? I have to raise 2 kids. Do you understand $50,000 means? Like what I just saw, it went from $27,000 to $49,000. Like, I mean, it's insane amount of money. Like you have no clue. You probably never held a bet in your life, or neither the guy who is proposing that kind of proposal. $49,000 for a season of 3 months. Like, come on, man. We already know where you're going with this. You keep talking about I don't make under the table deal. I just made it 2 and 2 together. First, it was $27,000. Then the guy just wrote the email. For, I would say about what? He raised his price to almost $50,000. And the proposal that Doug just said was about like $39,000. Like, we already know some information is getting leaked to that guy, and it's somebody who's leaking, and I'm pretty sure it's none other than our mayor at this point, because that's his buddy, and he's the one who's keep bringing him back. Like $49,000 for a cricket?
Done?
It's insane amount of money. Insane. When you work paycheck to paycheck and play some sort of sports, do you think we can come up with the $50,000 for 3 months of a season?
Are you done?
I guess you really have to answer all of those questions, because you are the one who's making the deals under the table. You keep bringing Linda, Barry. Come on, man. They were much better than you are.
Done? Are you done?
Yes, I am done.
Okay, number one, all my residents are my friends. I love them. They love me, number one. Number two, I'm not in favor of one party or one cronyism, You are example of that. And number three, I want to do the best for my resident. I want to go, if it's in my control, I would go for the high bidder, number one. Number two, that who can give the best package for my resident. I think you got my answer. Thank you. Next.
Can we hear from Adele Salam now?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Salam, are you still on Zoom?
Yes, I'm there. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Hey, my name is Adil Salam. Address is 1174 Harbor Court in Glendale Heights. So, Mr. Mayor just stated that he's in the best interest of the citizens, and he does not want to favor one person. And this is not about just one thing. I want to bring something in the attention of the Board of Trustees. Same person who's sitting right across from Mr. Mayor, Mr. Sandeep Mehta. If I'm not wrong, Jennifer can correct me on that. Mr. Mayor took him and showed him the banquet hall and tried to upsell it for $12,500, which is in his initial proposal, which came like around 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Mr. Adil, stick with the cricket ground.
No, I'm not.
You have, you cannot go to other item.
If you don't wish to answer,
if you don't stick with cricket ground, I will stop your microphone,
I thought it was an open discussion.
It's, what the mayor is saying, Mr. Salam, is that that item isn't on the agenda. If you want to talk about that item, there will be another opportunity during the COW, which will have a public comment. But the golf course banquet Facility is not on the agenda. So I guess that's what he's saying to you. And you can just wait. There'll be another opportunity at a meeting that's coming up right after this meeting tonight.
Okay. So coming back to the cricket part, I agree with what the trustees have decided, that he had his opportunity to work with Mr. Barry and the team of American Cricket Conference. He failed to do so intentionally. I know that. I don't want his answers about that. We agree on meeting with handpicked, whoever trustees are meeting with us, alongside with the acting administrator and the village clerk. I thank all the trustees to take the time out and going through this all over again. And hopefully we can get this resolved and out of our window. I would like one thing to be brought to the attention to everybody. There's a wiring pole right by the mosque MSI. It has been bending on one side. I see it more bent every time I go there. If somebody can look into it, I personally feel it's going to fall one day. So if somebody can just look into it, this is for the kids who go into MSI. They are there all day long. So if somebody can look into it, that would be great. But thank you for the opportunity.
Next, who's next? Yes.
Hi, Ed Pope, Wayne Avenue. No cricket questions. Just a couple. First one, Chief, I'm going to put you on a spot. I think it's the first time for calling the chief out here. On the cameras, Don, is it okay if I ask about that even though it was tabled?
It was on the agenda. It got removed. I think it's appropriate.
Okay, thank you. And Siddiqui, I appreciate your passion for these things, although I'm completely against them. But my question is, in discussions earlier with Doug and with Siddiqui previously to your appointment, Who's paying for these? I mean, they're so expensive, and you are working on grants and the business community chipping in so that it wouldn't be such a burden to us. I mean, our tax levy is going up dramatically, and with a minimum of 10 camera buy, that's pretty expensive. Were we able to get any funds towards that?
So we actually put out for a grant, but the grant was for 15 cameras. But what we did in the meantime is we implemented a truck unit, and by the efforts of our truck enforcement, the amount of revenue that we've brought in for those citations is gonna far exceed the amount it's gonna cost for these cameras.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, and since we have a rise in criminal activity in such like catalytic converters that have been taken off of cars, and it's been all over town, so that's why we want to implement these as soon as possible, so we can try to put an end to that.
No, my question was really more just about the funding portion. So that new, that's Zach's new position?
Correct.
That's pretty awesome if you're, creating those kind of revenues through I'm assuming the fines, but that's great. My next question for the board is, you repealed the sanitary sewer program, which was a fantastic program for us as residents. Are you going to retool it and come back with something else for us, or is this just something you're eliminating? Because that's a huge expense to the resident, and, the village helping out. I have not personally used it, but, that was a huge benefit to us as residents.
Yes.
I think that, Rachel, yeah, you might just speak on this.
Okay, so we recently had our union negotiations, and one of the things that came up was that our guys were replacing and removing asbestos cement sewer pipes for residential lateral repairs. And this was discussed with the board back on November the 15th, and the board felt unanimously that this is something that our crews should not be doing, and that we should be moving away from doing the private sewer program.
No, that's a shame. I mean, it was a great benefit, other than if there is asbestos. I mean, I get that it's a dangerous product. One last question for Nicole. Nicole, I called my friend during the cricket confrontation. She said that position wasn't even posted until Friday and gone by Monday. So what is the length of time that a position is posted? I thought they were 10 days.
There was one position open that we were asked to remove. We're doing further evaluation, and once that evaluation's over, it will be reposted.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, Nicole. He answered. All right, thanks, guys. I'm sorry to take so late, and
you for
happy
coming.
holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody, and sorry you went so late tonight.
Mr. Epstein?
Oh, Chris.
This has, Chris Epstein, Club Drive. This has somewhat to do with the cricket fields and everything. But I remember the majority of the board was here about 10 years ago when our baseball teams were, I would call stolen, where we were locked out of the clubhouse, and you put 300 kids out of playing baseball and softball in this town. And it was a shame. We spent between $30,000 and $40,000 a year that we drew as revenues to keep that running. No personnel from the Parks and Rec were on that, dealing with it. I was the treasurer the last that it was. I provided the financial reports requested. Nobody even asked a FOIA of my group at any time for those financial records. I voluntarily submitted them based on the request, the agreement. So for us to spend $30,000 to $40,000, this is 10 years ago money. It should be no problem for us getting $50,000 or $60,000, because we actually went out there and did a lot of the work on our fields ourselves. And I can tell you one thing, the Reskin Field that was not built, we were not consulted on the design and built of it. It was too small. Those fences were not far back, and we spent over, what, $1.8 million or whatever on it for not a proper field. So that's talking wasted money right there. So I would just like to see that everything, we get the most money for our village residents for the value of the cricket fields or whatever. But, you know, it was terrible, you know, bringing those baseball and even the football and the softball teams in-house, locking us literally out of the Reskin Field for us to do it. And that would have been our 50th season, not 20 seasons, not 30, 50. And you guys took us out of it. So have a good day. Thank you.
Kim Darlin, Greenbrier, Glendale Heights. And again, I don't give a rat's ass
Ma'am, you
about
can
cricket.
remove so we can hear
Remove
you.
your,
Oh. And again, I don't give a rat's ass about cricket. What I do care about is your fighting. That is what I care about. I care about, Mary, that you tried to change something because Coker got to vote on it. So you wanted to change it. I care that Chester is so angry at every time he speaks. Mr. Siddiqui, you should not have been involved at all. I'm saddened that you people know that Sohail Bari is going on vacation and you need to get this deal done. I am saddened for our town. We had an insurance person come up here to tell you how much money she saved us. But you guys can't give a rat's ass about how much money we could get for 3 cricket fields. But you can give a damn about our insurance of $50,000. My question I have, though, is to Doug. Is Doug the one who works on all of these contracts? Is Doug the one who does that? Yes or no? Doug, are you the one who works on the contracts for our village?
Well, really, the attorneys work on the contract for our
Yes,
village.
but are you always part of those negotiations? You should be part of
Generally
this,
speaking,
correct?
yes. Generally speaking, yes.
Does the Board of Trustees, our Board of Trustees, do they always work on those with you?
They have input into the contract.
They have input into the contract, but do they work on them with you?
No, not,
Okay, so this is something special that Mary gets to sit on, Chester gets to sit on, so that you guys can go through cricket yet one more time, right? People, we know you hate him. Work with him. We are the residents. It's us. Your anger towards him, I don't give a rat's ass that he accepted a contract. He wasn't legally allowed to do it. He didn't get away with it. Quit repeating it. He didn't get away with it. You're trying to say something that doesn't matter to us residents. You guys can't stand our president. Work with him. We don't care that you don't like him. Work with him. That's honestly all I have to say. Your anger just angers me to the point where I have to yell and scream because you guys look like a bunch of clowns. Except you, Mr. Meritato, for once, I absolutely loved everything you had to say.
Oh, my
And
God.
you know that's difficult, right?
Oh, my
You know
God.
that's difficult.
Thank you. Oh, my God.
Thank
That's
you,
the
ma'am.
first,
You
that's the
just-
first.
You just made my whole night.
Pat, something just froze over.
Just made my whole night.
don't get carried away with it.
His head is like this now.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Mehta, you want to say?
Yeah, I'll say some few words. Sandeep Mehta from 1800 Challenger Court, Wheaton, Illinois. Yes, I probably must have upset a lot of the trustees by writing that email. It was not a threat. Iqbal Khan knows Bob Berlin. We sat, I discussed what happened here, that I was not given a fair shot. There was no RFP. If I had known that, I had no idea about what village politics are till I did this. This was my first rodeo. So when Mayor called me and says, I expressed an interest in these fields back in July to my friend Osaf and Iqbal Khan. I said, this would be a good thing to do. And he just jumped on it. I said, I would rather do this with you. I said, let's do it. And from that it evolved. We came in the mayor's contact. We expressed our desire. And he says, yeah, you know what? More revenue for the city would be good. I said, fine. Let's do it then. I had no idea that my signing the contract needed the board approval. I personally would have not signed it. I would have waited, came here, and I would have loved to gone that RFP. Unfortunately, when we talked about Berlin, I explained all this. So normally, when the village has spent obscene amount of money on the grounds, I'll get back to your point about the Raskin Field, that normally a bid is put out. Now, I have businesses, I do work with village. Normally, we get an RFP when we want to work with the village, and may the best man win, or a woman in this case. We didn't get that opportunity. To a point that even though it could be better for the village, it could be better return on investment for the money that you have spent, that you did not pay, you did not get anything, and that's a fact. And my banging the door, coming here, doing all this, at least you'll get $15,000 more. If I wasn't here, you would have continued the same way. So the board does need to wake up and look at that it completely did not look at this from a business point of view. Chester, Mr. Pojak, Mary Schroeder is going to be on the committee with Doug. I know what the result's going to be. Mr. Siddiqui said he's abstained, but he led those people on that path. He intervened. I would even take it one for, he intervened in favor of his brother-in-law. You did much more than you would have been better off putting the vote in than what you did. You did much better for him than that. So, and if people can't see that in the village, that's what I want to share my story with the 34,000 people, how dysfunctional this body was in getting what the village of Glendale Heights should have gotten instead of what they're going to get. Coming back to the banquet hall. No, the mayor did not show me the banquet hall. That's for Adil Salam. And coming back to you regarding the Raskin Field and everything, that's more for Glendale Heights residents, the baseball, and it's been played there. The cricket that's being played here, it's not by Glendale Heights resident. There are very handful of people. Now, there was another person on the Zoom phone call that it says 50 grand, blah, 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 how can I pay for it? That gentleman doesn't understand that $50,000 is going to go to the village, or 40, whatever the amount you guys decide. We were not going to increase the cost of the teams playing in the league. So nobody was going to pay more money. As a matter of fact, people were going to pay less money if I had the opportunity to deal with it. It was very, very unfortunate that a person who had a very strong relationship, rightfully so for the last 20 years, I could not get over the hump, not on merit, because I didn't know any one of you. I didn't come in the right channel. I just came here, put my best foot forward, and somehow I was shot down. And I guess that's how it goes sometimes. But at least there was a contract that had more terms, more conditions. There is some additional money, Pat and Mary, about maintenance. The maintenance in that contract was $7,000, which actually cost you guys even more if you really did the accounting. So you should try to recoup that. And again, we're talking for the village. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mehta. Anybody else?
I have an additional person on Zoom,
Okay.
Galaxy S21.
It's been on before.
Sorry, this is Adil Salam. I dropped my name for some odd reason. I just like to recall, he just said Mr. Mayor called him. He did not approach Mr. Mayor. We can look. We can hear back.
Is he the same guy? Ms. Nicole is the same guy,
Yeah.
Adil Islam?
Yeah.
Cut his phone.
Yeah. Mr. Mayor was
Let's
the
cut
one
his phone.
who called him.
Yes, anybody else? No?
So you were the one who called him, Mr. Mayor.
Yes, I did.
Under the table, buddy.
You talk already lot.
Not Lord. Your friend just said you called him to give a contract.
Okay, there is no executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn first?
It's not allowed.
Please make the motion.
I can kick him out.
Mary Schroeder.
Number one,
Mary.
Trustee Mary, first.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, Trustee,
It doesn't look like it.
Deputy Mayor, Mary Toto.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt?
Yes.
Trustee Siddiqui?
Yes.
Trustee Light?
Yes.
Trustee Meritato? Trustee Pojek?
Yes.
We're not leaving, we have cow.
This meeting is adjourned.
Yes, you do.
Trustee Light, you have the committee of the whole.
All right. I would like to call the Committee of the Whole meeting for December 20, thanks, December 20th, or I'm sorry, December 9th, 2021. Ms. Clerk, could you please note who's here?
Noted.
Noted. Do we have any additions? Any additions? Mohammed?
Thanksgiving sale.
Thanksgiving what?
Sale.
Sale?
Yeah.
Chester's got one.
Okay, I'm writing this one down. Chester, go ahead.
Mr. Light, I had 3 of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna not say nothing till January 6th, because it's getting late.
Okay,
I have respect for the other people here let's get out of here.
all right. I just got a quick one, just the senior center, that's all. That's easy. All right, let's go to public discussion. Is there anyone in the public who would like to address this board on anything? Are we all done, Kim? You're good? You're good? Ed? All right,
I'll be here January, don't
Oh, come,
okay.
come on, get up there.
Oh,
Where did Mohammed go? My point is, what did he mean when he said, I'm embarrassed because I come from your country? What does that mean? Where'd he go?
Aren't we off that subject now?
No, that was the question I had.
Ma'am, I can, if you want, I can answer. I am from the same country, but I have different values, I have different views. I believe in democracy.
We're all from the same country.
Yeah. I love this country.
okay.
I am mayor of Glendale Heights, president, whatever.
Let's move on here. Committee recommendations. The Plan Commission, a recommendation to deny an application for an amendment to a previously approved conditional use ordinance 83-29 in the C3 General Commercial District to allow storage of vehicles waiting to be serviced to be parked in the front yard parking lot and to allow outdoor storage of U-Haul rental trucks, trailers, and cargo vans in the rear yard, side, and front yard located at 387 East North Avenue at Ed and Sons Auto Body. Sorry, it's getting late. Okay. Yeah. All right, no motion. All right, and we'll move on to discussion regarding Northern Illinois University Center for Governmental Studies Strategic Planning Goal Identification Proposal.
Wait, where are you
We
at?
didn't close up number
sorry.
1. Plan Commission recommendation.
We're still on,
Number 1 under
Number
committee
1.
recommendations.
Okay, yeah, we got it, go ahead. I read it,
And there was no motion, so
Right.
it dies.
okay.
You could send it to the board with no recommendation. We've done that before. You can send it to the board with positive recommendation, or you can send it to you can agree, disagree, or no recommendation.
I would like to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Mary, sorry,
May I say something?
please.
All right. I'm reading this, so be patient with me. Ed and Sons came into the village when it was only 25 years old. Glendale Heights needed businesses at that time, and they've abided by all the rules and regulations. Now, the question was, what if there was a fire? Did you ever notice the large doors on Ed and Sons building? They're not the doors that most auto places have. They're very large for the reason that this is a protection for us. Also, they have the same door on the back entrance of the building, okay? All right. You might say, All right, the question is, what if there's a fire? Let me ask you all this, and I really don't want an answer, I just want you to hear it. He has insurance in case there's a fire. Now, you people all drive cars. You have insurance. Does that mean that you shouldn't drive the car because you might have an accident? You have health insurance. You have house insurance. You have these insurance in case there's an accident. Why can't this man have insurance in case there's an accident? So I don't understand your logic. Also, in a meeting not the last meeting, but the meeting before this, you trustees all said, if you need help, you come to me because I'm here to help you. Now, this gentleman is coming here because he needs our help. Now, I want to see how much you people will help him because he does need your help. All right, self-storage. Self-storage came to us a few years ago because they wanted to have U-Haul trucks, and we denied them. I never understood why we denied them, all right? Now we've accepted them, and we should have accepted them. These are people that are trying to promote a business. You know, there's 7 of us on this board, and you know that 5 of us are retired people. So have you forgotten what it's like to have mortgages and household expenses just because we're retired? We're here to help these people. All right, this is why we're fighting for Suhail. He's a resident. We need these people. We need to help them. All right? Wait, I'm not through. All right? Ed and Sons has been with us for 38 years. So let's help each other instead of destroying a small business. All right? How we pay bills is what we do to work. We need help, and this man is coming to you because he needs help. Don't have a wishbone, have a backbone. Help this guy that's asking you for help. All right? There's a lot of things that we don't do that are not always right, but we're here to help the residents, and this is what we've been arguing about, is to help each other. So help this man that's asking you for help. All right? I just want to say something. All right? Growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. So grow up and let's work together on all things. And that's all I have to say. All right, Michael, now it's your turn.
Everybody, I'm sorry to keep you guys here so late. Village board members, my name is Mike Schroeder, owner of Ed & Sons Auto Body. I have been in business in Glendale. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I've been in business in Glendale Heights for 37 and a half years, supporting the village and paying taxes. I am asking for a special use permit in order to rent U-Hauls at my business. I have not had any incidents with the police, fire department, or any surrounding neighbors. I've never asked the city of Glendale Heights for anything in almost 40 years in business. Now I am only asking the village board members to please understand my situation and help me receive the permit. The last time I appeared in front of the board, I had Sharon, Mary, and Pat support me. I am simply a small business trying to make it in these hard times. I was unaware that I needed a special use permit for renting U-Hauls out. I began renting them in July of 2017. A year later, a police officer came to the shop and suggested I contact community development about the U-Hauls. They didn't get back to me until November of 2019 when they informed me that I needed to apply for a special use permit. I had been renting the U-Hauls at that time for 2 years and had no issues with it. I keep my property clean and not crowded with vehicles or U-Haul trucks. I am asking for you to please allow me to continue renting U-Hauls. The year 2020 my business was down 42% due to the coronavirus. This is an extreme loss for a small business, and the U-Haul is what was able to keep me running my business. It provided a reoccurring revenue, which is much needed in rough times. It also allowed me to meet new auto body customers. Aside from being down 42% in 2020, I had needed to install a roof, heating and air system, and other costly repairs in order to maintain my building and business for nearly 40 years. I am asking you if you could please try to understand my position and situation. I am an honest, hardworking, good citizen who is not bothering anybody. I'm just trying to make a living and would appreciate it if you would allow me to receive the permit and be able to continue what I'm doing. Thank you for your time and allowing me to state my case. That's it, guys. Any questions?
The other thing I wanted to say is, he was previously, what does it say here? He was previously approved. Now, that's difficult. First, the man's approved, and then you deny it. I mean, come on, let's get together.
Joanne, he was never approved.
No, sir.
No.
It says right here, read it in the,
No, he was never approved.
It was not approved.
it said he was, got the notes right there in front of you.
What are you
No.
reading?
I'm reading here, Plan Commission, a recommendation to deny an application for an amendment to a previously approved conditional
Ma'am, it was
use.
approved when we built the building in
So-
1984. They gave us that.
So the approval was for the auto repair facility, not for the U-Haul facility.
All right. Well, he's coming to you now for help. That's all I have to say.
Any more comments? Anyone?
I have a question. What if we allow him, what is the pros and cons? Because I'm sorry, because I elected just 5 months ago. I really don't know the history. So I'm really touched by Mary's that, the coronavirus and business, and we really don't want anyone to go out of business. So what is the reason of, why we don't want to give the permit?
So the Plan Commission considered the case, and the village board considered the proposal and denied the proposal in September of 2020. Mr. Schroeder reapplied and was considered again, and the two issues raised at the Plan Commission meeting were concerns by the fire district for access around the building, that the U-Hauls were periodically parked, acknowledging certainly that Mr. Schroeder's made an effort, but because of the unfamiliarity of the public, of people renting and coming different times a day, it's difficult to maintain that access around the building. So there's, in your packet, there's a letter from the fire district expressing that concern, as well as the lack of parking on the site. So those are the two concerns that were raised for that site, is that there's inadequate parking for the auto repair and U-Haul, as well as fire protection for access around the building and blocking the rear door.
So is there a way that if he make any changes in his building, that Plan Commission recommend, or?
I had met with Mr. Schroeder to talk about potential of acquiring additional property. That did not come to fruition. It is a relatively small piece of property, and we were unable to find any solutions. We did explore a variety of options, but we're unable to do that.
Or can he limit it, limiting the number of trucks, like at his property? Is that, any other kind of solution, which I really don't want any resident to be out of business or something like.
We certainly understand that, and perhaps Mr. Schroeder can speak to that, just that the issue is that with the size of the lot and the number of vehicles proposed and the area where they were proposed to be parked is a concern.
Oh, okay.
You are aware that when we built that area in the front of the
on North Avenue, that Ed and Sons lost a lot of property there. That was a lot of parking available to them at that particular time. That's number one. The other thing is that he had stopped putting cars on the side of the building, all right? For the simple reason that this is not acceptable by the village. But otherwise, for cars to be there, that's why it's an auto body shop. Where do you expect him to have his auto bodies, his automobiles, if not in the front of the building?
The originally approved conditional use required that all of the vehicles to be serviced were required to be parked in the rear in that storage area behind. Part of this request is to allow those vehicles to be parked in front.
I know, but he's willing to park his cars in the back of the lot and leave that area open. So, I mean, what would be the difference? Why couldn't he receive this permit?
All I can speak to is what the concerns of the fire district have concerns about the access around the building and the blocking of the exits and the lack of parking on the lot. Those were the two concerns that were raised.
Because the residents are not complaining. The neighbors on both sides of him, both have no problem with him. I mean, and as long as he keeps that area free of cars, or not cars, because this is what his business is, cars. But if he keeps that area free of the U-Hauls, I don't know why we can't allow him a permit. And as for the planning commission denying it, you know, they've denied a lot of things and we have not gone along with them. I can name quite a few things that they've denied and we have not gone along with them. So that doesn't mean that just because the planning commission said that that was it, that we have to go along with it. We have minds of our own and we don't always agree with them. When I was there and I said to the gentleman, what do you want him to change? He said, well, he didn't make any changes. Well, neither did Storage World. And that's all right. I'm not knocking Storage World. Listen, those people are in business too. We're here to help these businesses, not hurt them. So I'm only using Storage World because we denied them once, which was terrible. We shouldn't have. So now don't deny this guy. That's all I'm saying, Joanne. You know, I'm here to help Glendale Heights, all right, no matter what. I don't always agree with everything, but I try to go along with it, all right? And if people need help, that's what we're here for. So now, and these people up here said, if you need help, come to me. So he came to them. Now they'll have to help him, not I. I can't do it by myself. I don't know what else to say.
Any other discussion? Any action? No action? And move along, I guess. All right, next one, discussion regarding Northern Illinois University Center for Governmental Studies, Strategic Planning and Goal Identification Proposal. Doug, for you?
Yeah, again.
Oh, again. Okay, go ahead, Doug.
Kim, this actually goes right to what your points were tonight. So, positive way for us to hopefully move the village forward. So, we have, this is a proposal that I'm just looking for guidance from the board on working with NIU Government Studies for NIU to come in and start assisting us with planning, research, development, goal setting, short-term plans, long-term plans. They have...
Guys, can you take it outside and have a conversation, please? Thank you, sorry.
Working with us, and let me just say that we've already budgeted in our May budget, not at mid-budget, but our May budget, $42,000. The cost for this, all-encompassing, is $38,500, right? So we're well within budget for this whole process I'm going to talk about. And you've already approved this in the May budget. Working with Dr. Greg Kuhn, Mel Hendrickson, and other research people, they are going to start working as soon as January, if we get the go-ahead tonight, to do a series of discussion exercises that include the village board, senior staff, leadership retreat, discussion at the workshop, interactive, looking to figure out what the board wants to do collectively together to work on goal setting. That we can come together and plan a future for the residents. The residents are going to have a plan at the end of this on what the board and village should be working towards, because there's going to be a big part of the residents involved in this. First thing you're going to do on the planning part, a kickoff meeting, review prior plans, conduct stakeholder analysis, focus groups analysis, demographic analysis, community survey. Second will be looking at vision for the future, strength, weakness, opportunities, challenges. They do a SWOT analysis, goal development classification, and then we'll collectively work on goal ranking and planning and launching, right? Stakeholders here are everybody. A big part of this is the community and working on focus groups with the community. A separate part of this is a highly intensive community survey that's going to be put out to residents. They handle the whole survey themselves, English and Spanish, and that survey will, from this, will rank what it is we want to do. The residents will be able to say what they want from that survey, and together, collectively, we can put together a plan to meet the needs of everybody, right, hopefully. They're going to do our interview with the mayor, village board interviews, village manager, assistant village manager interviews, department heads, frontline village staff, residents, focus groups, diversity of residents, age, gender, race, geography, 2 focus groups, including 1 Spanish-speaking group, right? We need to meet the needs of all of our residents. Civic institutions, secondly, nonprofits, church community, school districts, library, townships, business community. Everybody needs to be involved in what this goal planning is. Environmental scan data analysis, once they get everything done, analysis of interview and focus group data, they will provide this information to us. It's not us collectively as members of the village, but it's the outside agency coming in and doing it. Quite honestly, we don't have the time or the resources internally to do a comprehensive project like this. Randall Samp, I'm trying to just get through this because it is way past my bedtime. Optional components, we've opted in for all of these, right? So random community survey, we've opted in for this. Community profile, we've opted in for this. Demographic community profile can offer insights and overlook demographic and economic community dynamics. Changing demographics play a crucial role in our expectations of the community. We have 50 languages being spoken in one school. Our demographic survey is one of the more important things that we can do to really meet the needs of what the community is. After everything's all said and done, there will be a leadership workshop just to put everything together. It's going to take them 5, 6, 7 months to get all this stuff together and get to a workshop for us, probably sometime in the summer, right? Once everything starts, so that we can then start really working collectively on what our goals should be, right? Based on all the feedback we get from all the focus groups in the community and the community survey. We'll set the goals, make a priority list, second list, third list, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year goals, and we will start working from this plan to set our goals for the future for the village. So it's going to start here pretty quick if you give me the go-ahead. They actually have meetings scheduled for January 10th to start the community survey if we get the go-ahead to do this. Again, the overall cost is $38.5. We've budgeted $42, and we should be ready to proceed if we get the go-ahead to proceed.
Does anybody got any questions?
I know this was really quick. NIU wasn't available to come out and talk tonight, so I'm kind of speaking on their behalf. I didn't do it very well, but
You did great. You did well, you know.
they know way more than I do about it. But I think, Kim, to your point tonight and everybody else's point tonight, I think this is something that is necessary for the village to do, to assist us with long-term planning.
Absolutely.
So I'm just looking for a yes, I guess, from the board, just to start meeting with them.
Somebody like to make a
Yeah,
motion?
no problem. I say yes.
You need a committee for this, Doug?
No, no
committee at all?
more committees.
No
No.
committees.
Just checking,
Stop the
just
committees.
checking.
No.
So we just looking for a
You can
recommendation,
just,
a
you can
yes?
move it to the
Yes.
board with a recommendation to concur. It'll appear, there's a little contract we're doing for all the villages. All of them are doing.
Okay.
3 or 4 of them, so there's
Can I get
simple
a-
little contract.
Can I get a motion? Pat, you want to make it?
Yeah, make a motion that we go ahead with it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We need a voice vote.
Oh,
because
we
we're
need a
on
voice
Zoom.
vote, sorry. Voice vote, please.
Trustee Schmidt,
Yes.
trustee Siddiqui,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Absolutely.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek,
Yes.
trustee Schroeder,
Yes.
Mayor Coker.
Yes.
All right, it moves to the board. Doug, that'll be fun, thank you.
Thank you very much. I actually look forward to the project and trying to move things forward.
Next one, police vehicles and receipt of surplus vehicles from Enterprise.
Yeah, so you have in board docs, documents from Chief Pappas and Enterprise. We're looking for permission to, when we have the availability, when they open up the sale, for the sale and purchase of squad cars. Because it's gonna happen between now and budget, right? That we get 2022s that we can order. We're looking, if that window opens, to have the ability to pre-order 4 vehicles prior to our new budget in May being approved, because they're 40 to 50 weeks out. Right? So what we're looking is just the authorization to, from you, to let us order the vehicles. Of course, we wouldn't pay for them until we get delivery, right? But just the authorization for us, when that window opens, that it's okay for us to order these vehicles prior to us going to the budget process.
And that's still through Enterprise, right?
Yes,
Same
and
program.
on top of that, we have sold off the police vehicles that we've turned over, and we've received $27,000 in return from Enterprise to put back into our fleet.
That's fantastic.
That pays for half a car.
Yeah, no kidding. So do we need a motion for this in order to, yeah, I guess we would.
There's
Just-
gotta be some action at the board, isn't there, Doug?
Well, once we order the cars, I guess there would be, right?
Motion to proceed.
We have no idea when the window opens.
A motion.
Motion to
Similar,
proceed.
similar to the Public Works vehicle that we were just looking to
Yes.
get permission to order.
Yeah, I think you move it to the board with the recommendation to concur.
Chester?
I make a motion to move it to the board with a recommendation to concur.
Second.
Thank you. And then the last one, I'm turning over to George, 'cause I'm kind of
Well, we'll
done
do a
talking.
roll call vote. We need a roll call vote on that.
Yep.
Trustee Siddiqui,
Yes.
trustee Light,
Yes.
trustee Meritato,
Yes.
trustee Pojek.
Yes.
Trustee Schroeder.
Yes.
Trustee Schmidt.
Yes.
Mayor Coker.
Yes.
So we'll move it to the board.
It's the same deal we got with Enterprise, right?
Yes.
Doug?
It is.
Working out good.
It's been great.
Number 3, sale of cannabis in Glendale Heights.
All right, it's ironic, but I'm from the police department, I'm talking about cannabis sales in the village. The state of Illinois made cannabis legal. We did not do it, but the village should benefit from it if we possibly can. So I actually attended a training by state police, and it actually changed my perspective on how we should deal with cannabis and how municipalities should deal with cannabis. So what I'm here for is looking for amendments to our zoning requirements to allow cannabis sales in town, which would include cannabis dispensaries. You guys looking at me like I'm crazy, but as I explain this to you, it'll make a lot of sense to you. So what we have in the state of Illinois, they made agreements to have cannabis dispensaries And a lot of them got caught up in court because of this lottery that you'll see there. So in 2022, there is a total of 315 cannabis licenses that can be distributed through the state of Illinois. 75% of those have to be in the Chicagoland areas. So yeah, 75% of 315 puts the odds pretty good for the village of Glendale Heights. I'm going to talk to you guys, and all this we're going to talk about is what can be purchased from the dispensary. So we have to look at what's legal and what's not legal. So when we talk about cannabis, you have to be 21 or older to buy cannabis. That's the way the law is. Now, we're talking about cannabis that's manufactured through the state of Illinois. And we're not talking street level sellers. So when we talk about street level, we're looking at things that could be laced. We had a traffic stop on a person 2 weeks ago. He had 99 fentanyl pills on him. Fentanyl, if you guys do not know, that is what's killing everybody. When you buy drugs on the street, that's when you have robberies, that's when you have violence. The way the state of Illinois has made this, you buy from dispensaries. I know Mr. Storino, his firm has worked with other municipalities in arranging ordinance for cannabis dispensaries, and it's worked out really well. This is the amount of cannabis that you can actually buy from the dispensary. There's limits to what you could buy each time. The top one is just the actual cannabis that you think of normally. We talk about edibles, the second one, and the third one is more of what dab or wax. And that's a little more potent, but it's for different things that people need. They need municipal or recreational. Okay, you can barely read that, but the red part on there says when cannabis went legalized, it did not lower the amount of arrests that we do as a police department anywhere. Because the difference between the cannabis that's sold on the street and the cannabis that is sold at the state is it has to be packaged. It has to be packaged a certain way. So you can't go buy it and you can't go smoke it in a car, and that's how arrests come about, is when you buy stuff illegally. Cannabis dispensaries, they do not let you smoke the cannabis on the property. You buy it and you leave. When we have cultivation centers, earlier, I was on one of our slides, there's only 21 of these statewide. That is where all the cannabis is made, and I am not looking for the village of Glendale Heights to have a cannabis cultivation center. It's way too big. It's really hard to get the license for that. The Cannabis Cultivation Center has transport units. These transport units take it to the dispensaries. If you look in here, every transport unit has to have two people inside the vehicle. One always has to stay with the car at all times. The amount of money for the cannabis that is in these cars is in the millions. The cannabis dispensaries can only have cannabis from the state cultivation centers. More requirements for the drivers. Now we're getting down to dispensaries, which is why I really want to talk to you guys. So in these dispensaries, as you guys will see, that you cannot go in there. You're not going to have live plants in there. The whole background's by dispensaries. When you walk inside the buildings, and if you guys have seen anywhere, and I can get you guys inside it, and I want to get you guys inside so you guys can actually see what they look like. When you go inside of them, they have kiosks there. There is no cannabis that's on display. You go to the kiosk, you see what you want to order. Let me go back. When you walk in, you have to have a driver's license. You scan your driver's license in there. If you do not have a license, you cannot go in. There's always a security guard at the cannabis dispensaries. You go to a kiosk, you order whatever cannabis that you want. You go to a second area, you pay for the cannabis, you go to a third area, you receive it, and you leave. There's no smoking on the property, and you're gone. Now cannabis dispensaries that, like we do alcohol stings, you all know that, when we send underage people in for alcohol to buy alcohol. We also have tobacco ones. If a cannabis dispensary sells to somebody who's not supposed to sell to, the state of Illinois fines them $5,000. It's a big deal. That is when we talk about people getting illegally, it will not happen through them. Like I said before, there's no consumption on there. In addition, cannabis dispensaries have to have between 200 and 400 video surveillance cameras inside. It is more than any bank that we have in Glendale Heights combined. the amount of cameras in there. That's the security that you have. In the state of Illinois, there was only one cannabis dispensary that was ever robbed, and it was an inside job because in order to get there, you have to use your license or ID to get in there, and the scanned ID was used when it was taken. So, now, the benefit for our residents of Glendale Heights. The amount of money that was made off of cannabis sales last year was almost $700 million. In 2022, with the addition of those 350 cannabis licenses, the state of Illinois estimates making $2 billion. Each cannabis dispensary, on average, makes a day between $75,000 to $100,000. At a tax rate of 3%, the return to the village is, you guys will see right there, between $2,000 to $3,000 a day. If you do the math on that, it comes out to between $800,000 and $1.5 million annually per dispensary that the village of Glendale Heights would make per dispensary. If you guys ever drive by a dispensary, you will see that it is packed. You do not smoke there, you buy it and you leave. It will bring customers to buy other things at other businesses inside of our town. Everybody knows that we want to lower the taxes for our residents. If we can get dispensaries that we did not make legal, that we can benefit from them, it is a good idea. In the maps for cannabis dispensaries, if we look at what's coming around here, I actually blew one up. There is absolutely no cannabis dispensaries west of Addison there until you get out to St. Charles. The next one is North Aurora. Bloomingdale doesn't have any. I spoke to one of their village trustees. They will not get it. There's nothing any place south of us. I just believe, and I'm coming as law enforcement, it sounds bad, but I just think it's a good idea for the village of Glendale Heights to look at an option to maybe changing their zoning opportunities to get cannabis dispensaries.
George, quick question.
Yes.
Location for dispensary. I know we have for medical, we have one location. It had to be X amount of feet from a school, from residents. It had a certain criteria. Does this follow the same criteria that a?
If I may.
Please.
Actually, our current regulations prohibit any cannabis whatsoever. So we would need to amend the zoning regulations to allow that, and we would evaluate certain districts where they would be allowed and
I
and
know
the
we went
limitations.
through this. We had to pick something out if it was going to happen, if we allowed it. There was only one spot that
Yeah,
was.
so what we're asking, seeking tonight is permission to start researching, changing our zoning.
Okay.
So that we can allow for the sale of cannabis. I wouldn't limit it to industrial parks. I would make it broader than that, quite honestly. But that's your decision. But it's for us to start researching the zoning on that and to bring that back to the Plan Commission.
Correct.
For zoning amendments, and then bring it back to you.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. Meritato.
Joanne,
Yes.
locations, I mean, could, like, you gotta, of course, it has to be, 100 feet from the schools, for sure.
Actually, well, I would look at the legal. I know Peter did a lot of research on the legal aspects of cannabis. So if there's state law, if not, it's totally up to the village board of how they want to allow it, if they want to limit it from schools. And then location can be, and I concur with Doug, initially, some of the municipalities were putting them in only industrial districts, but then it's a disservice to actually getting that revenue. So I would recommend the commercial districts.
That was my next question. Could we put it, I mean, could it go in the shopping center?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, say St. Charles, they actually had, there's an industrial park. They've taken it out. And this is where, if you guys want to go on a field trip, I will take you to that. The one in St. Charles. They have actually moved it to across from Cooper's Hawk on North Avenue. So it is in a retail area it is hopping. It is busy all the time, and you're gonna get people to go there, and they're gonna go to other businesses. So I would highly recommend not in an industrial park.
We would want to research the zoning, so it's in our high-traffic areas, right? Highly visible areas, and bring that back to the plan commission to make amendments to.
Yeah, because I would think that we should put it in a good location. I mean, instead of hiding it. I mean.
Did you say about your house,
I mean,
Kim?
I hate to say it, but it don't sound right me saying it, but I mean, I know the kind of money that this generates, so I mean, Peter?
Well, to answer your question, trustee Meritato, it has to be 1,500 feet a minimum from a school.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Can't put it next to.
Mohammed?
To put it next to my house.
Yeah, my question to you, Abbas, is this, about our neighboring cities like Carroll Stream, Lombard, Edison? I believe they have those dispensaries, correct?
Addison does, Carroll Stream does not.
Okay.
Bloomingdale will not, according to the trustee I spoke with. Glen Ellyn Police Department told me they will not. Wheaton, I highly doubt it. So what I am.
I saw in Lombard does do it.
Lombard does.
Lombard's
it.
approved it.
Yes,
Lombard
so,
approved it.
so
Okay.
you'll see it up on the map, you can kind of see it, probably should have blown up a little bit more, but you can actually see it actually stops at Addison Lombard, and there's nothing that's
Oh, okay,
west of it until we
so-
get further.
Basically, what I'm trying to prove is, let's say if we don't want this in our community, doesn't stop our resident to get it. Basically, they can just go 2 blocks down and.
No, and well, that's an excellent question, and here's something else, and I know the public will all hear this. The customer, the main customer for the cannabis dispensary is a female between the age of 45 and 65. So that is the customer base. So the predominant
Really?
customer is, so now if you put that in perspective, you're right, you will go anywhere, but why not be the one that we take the people from Glen Ellyn and Wheaton and Bloomingdale and have them be our customers here? That's the opposite, so you look at the
Yes.
converse of it.
Party.
Our females are too young for that demographic.
Yes.
I say let's go for it.
So what are you looking for? Just a recommendation? You're looking for the approval to go ahead?
To amend the zoning, yep.
More direction,
Yeah.
to proceed. If
Yes.
the consensus is to do that.
Yes, I mean, for sure. Trustee Chester Pojek, I forgot.
First of all, I'm too old for this stuff, and secondly, I'm against it. I go along with Bloomingdale and Carroll Stream. They have reasons to stop it, and I know the money is there, but, this village got a good reputation. They're clean, and I don't want all this crap to come into the village. That's my opinion. I'm from the old school. When I was growing up, we never had not even a cigarette or nothing. Now you can buy it any place you want.
No wonder you're so crabby.
No, I have to sit next to you, that's why I'm crabby.
Trustee Meritato. Pat, what do you got?
I say, my vote is, let's go for it. I mean, if you generate that kind of money, let's do it. I mean,
We don't
if
need
they
a
smoke
motion,
in
we
town,
just
they're
need-
gonna go someplace else to buy it, so.
We don't need a motion,
Buy
we
it
just
here.
need
No, if there's a consensus, we'll bring it,
Consensus, right.
we'll do the text amendment as Joanne pointed out, and bring it to the plan commission. The board's still gonna be able to, I guess, change their mind if whatever the plan commission does, they do, and they bring it to the board, and maybe the board approves it or not, but I think,
I'm all for it. Go ahead.
Can I talk?
Yes, please.
Okay, my vote is for yes, because, number one, the people, there are cigarettes, or there are other stuff, beer and other stuff, people who want to drink, they drink, I never had in my life cigarette or anything, So if it's open, our resident who are going out of a village, they will stay inside. Number two, outsider customer will come and we will make some revenue and we can lower, a burden of tax and, permits, for our resident,
Absolutely. All right, so the word looks like it's all good to go, from
Thank
what
you.
I can gather.
Mayor's first vice will be cannabis. We got it.
All right, that's good. All right, real quick, on the other, I just had, I'll go first real quick, Senior Center. I talked with them over there. They were looking if we can get some, district maps over there to, because apparently some of their residents don't know who their trustees are, and they need maps to help with, dividing it up. Can we do that?
Yeah, so David will print some off tomorrow and bring them over to.
And also, I was asked by a couple of the seniors, I offered to go over and help with one senior move a chair that she couldn't get anyone to help with because her husband couldn't sleep in it. And I said, I'll come over, I'll help you. And she asked if there was a list that was at the senior center that they can call for small things for help. Not the service per se for handyman part, but just a help service that they can find someone to move stuff or help them, maybe shovel the bottom of a driveway. There are a lot of problems with that. Do we know anything? I know the county has something, but I don't know if it's available to them.
I can touch base with Jennifer Alagna tomorrow. The only reference she gave me was the handyman, but we can see if there's other resources available.
County or I mean,
Don't the
township
school
or something.
districts have volunteer programs for middle schools?
I don't know, but neither do they. And that's why I was trying to find out if there's a way we can get some help to them over there.
They have the Key Club, the school has the Key Club.
Yeah.
So there is something that's possible. Well, that's all I was looking for. And then next on the list was this Thanksgiving sale.
No, actually, I just want to touch first with the district map, especially on the website, the map are really blurry. So if we can have a copy, because I tried to went over there and I could not even see which district is mine so it's maybe reload or have a copy of that on our website, which is not that blurry. That will be great. So for Thanksgiving, I wanna table it for the next board meeting because I'm really tired. I wake up at 6 in the morning, so do
I'm with
Doug,
you.
so I wanna go to home
Yep.
and sleep.
I hate to ask, but can I get a motion to?
Yeah, trustee Light, one, really quickly.
Okay.
Weather's gonna be great next week, right, for December. We have SWAP going out, with some of our employees down the,
I don't remember what the name of it is.
me either. The,
It's late.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah. So
Ditch.
the waterways that we've been working on as far as, cleaning up the back of Esther's house.
Yes.
So we're gonna be next week, working with SWAP to go back there and clean up that area. And then Keith and his crew are gonna be doing surveys of what it's gonna take to clean that place up. And then we're working on, other things to move that forward.
Awesome.
So I
Thank
wanna tell you that.
you. That makes me happy.
Right.
We gotta hire somebody else for that, right?
Do I need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Do that, right?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.